Oh, we're live. There it is.
There we are. Let's see if we have any viewers. 0 viewers. Cool.
Nice.
Awesome. We'll wait until there's 1 viewer so that we can start.
People are busy, Sammy. I don't know if people are.
Oh, 1 viewer. Hello, 1 viewer.
Okay. Stop.
6 viewers. Awesome. Okay, let's start. Hello, everyone. Welcome. This is the 2018-2019 Mafa Board Elections, Round 1. So, just explaining. Oh, wait, no. We're going to introduce ourselves. Haha. Cool. All right. Hello, everyone. I am the Mafa president. I'm Sammy Dion. I go to Marquette University. I am a senior graduating in like 15 days-ish. And I'm studying finance and information systems. Nicole.
Oh, okay. Hi, my name is Nicole Calaustro. I am a senior at Loyola University Chicago. I am graduating in 3 days, and I am this year's vice president internal. Maddie? Kala?
Wait. Nicole, did you say me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't hear you. Hi everyone, my name is Maddie Ronquillo. I'm a senior at Loyola University Chicago. I'm graduating in 4 days in Ed PR and Psychology, and I am one of this year's outreach chairs. Emily.
Hi, I'm Emily Valentine.
Emily, you're muted.
Kala.
Wait, did Emily go? She like muted herself.
Because you couldn't hear me. You're muted. Hi, I'm Emily Valentine. I go to Marquette University, and I study social welfare and justice. I am a junior, so I'm not graduating in the next month. But she's going to South Korea, because it's united now, so one Korea.
And this is why Nicole, Kayla, and I do our meetings separately.
Me and Maddie are literally in 2 different rooms in the same apartment. I'm Kayla. I'm the treasurer. I'm a senior at Loyola. I graduate Thursday. I graduated in accounting. Whoops. Okay, Marlo, you can go.
Hey everyone, my name is Marlo Delatorre. I go to Purdue University, and I am a senior studying computer science, and I'm graduating in 5 days.
Yay. We have our other board members who are going to be a little late because it's Emily Brielle's graduation party today. She'll be coming in later. Emily Brielle's our secretary, and then Nina Cedro is our VPE, and then Rafi Taralba is our other co-outreach chair. They will be joining us later. So just to give you a rundown of the elections, each candidate will have 5 minutes to present themselves and speak about why the position they're running for, and then the executive board and any viewer shall be given the opportunity to ask any questions for the maximum of 5 minutes. The voting party will consist of 1 vote per Mafa school. There's 27 Mafa schools, and then 2 votes per executive board officer. A simple majority vote will decide the outcome of the election. In cases where candidates are running unopposed, they must gain 2/3 majority vote from the voting party to be elected, and results will be released within the week. And Emily Valentine, our events coordinator, she'll be keeping track of time. If you want to just present your pretty numbers. Yes, yay. So there will be a 2-minute mark, a 1-minute mark, and then 30 seconds. And Emily will be keeping track of that. What else? I think that is it. So our first candidate is going to be Summer from UIUC, and she'll be running for the president position of Mafa Board. Nina! Nina, hello. Our VPE is here. Do you want to just introduce yourself, your name, school, position?
Hello, my name is Nina. I go to Wayne State University in Detroit, and I am currently Mafa's Vice President External.
Awesome. Nicole, do you want to send out the link to somewhere? Within like 5 minutes? In 5 minutes. In 5 minutes. Okay, cool. Nina is funny. Yeah, so we will be doing most likely to on Mafa board throughout the entire night. So or throughout the entire elections. Just so we're not boring you guys. So should we start? As we wait for Summer, who will be running at 7 p.m.
Send your most likely to We Are Mafa's Facebook account, and we'll answer it if it's appropriate.
So yeah, Facebook message the Mafa. Facebook.
We Are Mafa. I'm the one that's currently.
So we can start off with one.
Okay.
Who is most likely to listen to classical music?
Like opera classical music, or are you talking like Frank Sinatra? Like,
I didn't make this question up. I don't know.
Classical music, like
because I love Frank Sinatra.
Like
Mozart.
Beethoven.
Beethoven, like Mozart stuff.
yeah, I
I
think.
mean, I have my tendencies.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to it while I study.
I'm gonna say Kala.
Okay.
All right, cool. Kala. Congrats. Superlatives. Mafa board superlatives.
All right. Who is the most likely to watch romantic movies?
Maddie.
I was gonna say Nina.
I'm
Oh
very
no,
guilty.
I was gonna say Maddie.
I'm very guilty of it. I watch it. I watch rom-coms so much. It's actually kind of bad, but
But y'all know I'd be crying at every movie I send you a snap usually.
yeah, you're right. Me and Nina be crying watching rom-coms. It's fine.
If it's a K-drama, me and Emily are
Yeah.
there. We are there.
Watching one a few days ago.
Okay. Who is most likely to be in a choir?
Kala and
Kala
Maddie.
sings.
College?
Kala.
Yeah. Oh, college.
I didn't know
I
college.
was in choir.
I was in
Kala
choir.
and I were both in choir, but Kala did more choir than I did.
Cool.
Choir was my life, guys.
Oh my god, dude. Are you gonna sample for us?
You should.
I'm sick. So no.
She was supposed to sing like 2 weeks ago, and then she didn't. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I kinda got out of that one. I have a video. I have a video from high school.
Does anyone else have any other most likely to? I literally just have like an article.
We got a most likely question on our Facebook group.
Yay!
Wow.
Most likely to order pineapple on pizza. That's me.
That
I love
Pizza.
I like pineapple on pizza. Does anyone not like pineapple on pizza?
Kayla.
I hate pineapple
Oh,
in
Kayla doesn't
general.
like pineapple.
I love pineapple pizza.
Who doesn't like it?
Me.
Kayla.
I just don't like pineapples.
Yeah, it's not the pizza part. It's the pineapple part.
Sorry, not sorry.
Everything about college today.
She sings and doesn't like pineapple.
I don't know if I like these facts.
We're learning so much about Kayla today.
But on a serious note, I really do like pizza with pineapple, like pineapple on pizza. Like
I like bread.
huge fan
Oh,
of
we
it.
have another one.
We have another one. Most likely to reference vines in conversation.
Maddie.
Maddie.
Oh, we have another.
Maddie.
Really? I don't watch Vines, you guys.
Yeah, I low-key have never watched Vines unless they were on Instagram.
I only know like one of them. That was like the You ain't getting sleep because of me. You ain't getting sleep because of me. I don't know. I don't remember it, but that's like the one I remember. Or like Brendan Urie from Panic at the Disco, when he had Vine, he was the only like Viner I would watch. So
You know way more than we do.
Brendan Urie had a great Vine account, is all I'm saying.
Update, I sent Summer the link.
I didn't have Vine.
I didn't have a Vine.
I didn't have a Vine, but I saw them on like the Facebook posts.
Yeah, that's how I know.
Look, I didn't have a lot of things though. Like I didn't have MySpace, didn't have Facebook until the end
You're
of high
so
school.
young.
I didn't know. Oh, someone told me, what is that thing? Like I had no idea what I am was.
Instant Messenger?
I had no idea what people
AIM?
were talking about.
What was everyone's
What is
Instant
AIM?
Messenger?
What the hell?
Like, what was your...
Oh, your AIM handle?
My AIM handle was
I don't
Rocker-
even know my AIM.
Rocker Girl 614 was my.
Mine was gymnast.kayla.
Mine was Asian AZN Mahal 420.
God.
Was it at this week, guys?
420?
That's my birthday!
Oh, I do that.
Blazing Prison.
Wait, Nicole, it wasn't Sweet Rice?
Hey, Sweet Rice, follow Nicole on Instagram. Hey, Sweet Rice.
Wow, look, we got another superlative. Say you're given $1 million and immortality, but a snail is let loose after you. The snail is immortal, unable to be contained, and will kill you if it gets into physical contact with you. Who's the most likely to stay alive?
Marlo.
Wait.
Wait, what is the 1 million?
Wait.
Is it like you who's given the immortality or the snail? Like,
It says, this snail is immortal, unable to be contained, and will kill you
Oh,
if it
who's
gets
most
into
likely to stay
physical
alive?
contact.
Yeah, who's most likely to stay alive?
the snail wins that one. Did I read that right?
Wait,
Who, I think on Mafa board, who's most likely to stay alive?
not me. We all know this.
I think Emily and Rafi are definitely going to
But it's
die first.
Very graciously though.
say
Yes.
you're given one.
You're gonna go down with a fight though. Like,
I
you're not going down.
wouldn't go out without a fight. It would just
Okay.
be probably a really quick one.
Wait, what's the first part saying that?
I don't get the $1 million part.
And yeah, that
Okay, but the real question is, who is not afraid of bugs or like those? kind of
Nicole.
creatures?
It's Nicole.
Nicole.
What?
You'd be the one to most likely stay alive.
Against an immortal slug.
Nicole also won. Nicole won most likely to survive the Hunger Games. So
Oh, so I'm giving $1 million or immortality. I would get the $1 million.
wait. Say you're given
So
one.
what is the-
Oh, and
You're given $1 million and immortality, but a snail is let loose after you. The snail is immortal, unable to be contained, and will kill you if gets into contact with you.
You see
So
that?
basically, do you care about the money, or do you believe you can win against a snail?
I don't want to be immortal.
Oh.
nah, I'd die. Yeah, no, I'd die.
All you can eat.
I would choose to die because I'm not dealing with a snail. No, I feel like I would do it for as long as I like, and then I would get really tired of trying to stay alive against a snail, and then I would just die. You know?
Yeah. Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay, yay. The summer monsoon. Almost 7. Oh. Charge the laptop.
Yes. Drag that over to the.
Just
Yeah,
remember.
wait, is that outside or is it?
That's from Google.
Those were Nicole's roommates, I think.
We're all like,
Gotta hurt children.
for those who couldn't tell at this point, the three of us are in the same room.
Wait, I have one. Somebody said most likely to eat 20 chicken wings in under 5 minutes.
Dude, I ate 25 chicken wings at Brothers
in 25.
Not in 5 minutes. It must have been like 10 or 15 though. I ate them like
Respect.
really quickly.
Yeah, for the culture.
I'm not a fast eater. I just like eating.
Me too.
Mm-hmm.
I died. That was not the best of ideas. It was only $5 though for 25 wings.
Wait, where is this?
The Brothers at Purdue.
Oh,
Yeah, Brothers Bar and Grill.
I love me a good deal.
We waited like 2.5 hours for it. It wasn't worth it.
Oh, I was kidding. Never mind.
Yeah.
Nina, how was Emily's graduation party?
Oh my gosh, it was so cute. Her family is so cute, and they have these really cool mugs. But that's all. She was so pretty. Her dress was amazing, and oh my gosh, hi Summer.
Oh, hello, Summer.
I'm here.
Oh, so again, this is Summer from UIUC. She is running for Mafa president for the 2018-2019 Mafa term. Yes. All right. But just to reiterate, Summer, you do have a 5-minute speech as well as a 5-minute Q&A. And Emily Valentine here will be having the time limits when you have 2 minutes left, 1 minute left, and 30 seconds. Okay. So you can begin whenever you want. Emily will be starting whenever you begin talking. So.
Good evening, Mafa. For those who I haven't had the pleasure to meet yet, my name is Summer Love Jalarbal, and I'm a junior at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. As a member of the Philippine Student Association, I have been part of Barkada and Team Fact, as well as an intern for both PSA and Mafa these past 2 years. For this past year, I have also served as Vice President External of PSA, and for this upcoming year, if elected as your Mafa president, I hope to foster a climate of community inclusion, sustainable progress, and board wellness. What sets the Midwest Philippine-X region apart is its undying sense of camaraderie. I appreciate and would like to continue Mafa Board's efforts to be personable by reaching out to each school individually and open the door for communication with schools. However, I would not only focus on the connection between schools and Mafa Board, but also the connections between schools as well. One way I would like to promote this is by refocusing on the aspects of service and philanthropy. I would want to reestablish a Mafa Service Day to engage our members and challenge them to collaborate with each other for a cause. By implementing a system to document service hours, as Mafa Board, we can showcase fellow organizations doing work in the community. I would also look into choosing a yearly philanthropy. By doing this, Mafa can raise awareness about various Philippine and/or Midwest-based charities. Mafa is defined as a charitable organization, and I would love to see our objectives serve not only our current community, but a greater Philippine-X and Midwestern community. Another innovation I would like to implement is an official Mafa alumni program. By opening a channel to past members, there is a potential to increase the number of resources available to Mafa members through mentorship, job, and internship opportunities. We would also have connections to possible advisors, keynote speakers, and workshop facilitators. From their personal accounts, we as students can further explore cultural identity and how it applies to professional environments and eventual adulthood. It is important for us not to lose sight of a greater vision and to hold ourselves accountable to our ideals. I believe that as a regional organization approaching its 10th year of existence, we should establish consistency and a standard for ourselves. To do this, I would like to break down our goals into different timeframes: 1 year, 5-year, and a 10-year plan. These would serve as a foundational vision, but would be renewed and revised each year to address our needs and adapt to changing times. As president, I would strive to spearhead and facilitate conversation on board and within our community in order to integrate our visions of what we want for the future of Mafa. our future, and push for progress together. With this mindset, I believe we can work towards implementing innovations that are sustainable beyond the 2018-2019 year. Of course, none of this would be possible without the support of Mafa's executive board. With experience and passion, they are the driving force committed to the growth and success of this community. As president, I would meet with each individual board member at the beginning of the year to set expectations for communication on board, help develop and strengthen their individual or innovations, and establish that I will support them in any way I can throughout our time together. I would also want to emphasize that they are an officer third, a student second, and a human first. I want to establish an empathetic and safe space on board and promote a culture that focuses on wellness. Mafa board is always doing work for this community, so I want to make sure we maintain a healthy balance so we can always give it our all. With the input and support of the community and the newly elected board, I aim to instill the values of community inclusion, sustainability, and wellness. I hope that together we can cultivate a more unified Mafa community. To many of us, Mafa has grown to become our home. It has grown to become my home, where it has challenged me and encouraged me and taught me our collective strength and unity. And it would be my honor to guide Mafa in its growth as well. Thank you.
Thank you, Summer. Good job on your speech. Yay. So next we're going to get into the second part of the election process, which is the Q&A. So Emily, again, she's going to set the time limit of the 2-minute and the 1-minute and 30-second mark, and she's going to, we're going to start right now. So from my experience as president, I worked with a lot of different leadership styles across the Midwest. So how do you approach a situation in which another leader in Mafa or on Mafa board where you two are not on the same page?
The way I would approach it was first initially establishing like setting expectations together between the two parties, understanding how we communicate what our goals are and what timeline we're on, and not necessarily 100% sticking to that, but having that understanding at the very beginning, because a lot of issues come from the misunderstandings. So if we understood that earlier, then we would be able to avoid issues that come up. To approach issues that do inevitably come up, I would personally reach out to the person and approach from a mindset of concern rather than blaming the other person for the issues, and really try to work with the person and try to understand their perspective.
All right, thank you. So before my other questions, I'm going to ask a question from the Mafa member they had just asked. So how do you plan on reaching out to schools that do not have a strong Mafa presence? So maybe schools that are inactive, or maybe they're a smaller school and don't exactly know how to get involved.
I plan on reaching out to them just personally and just trying to get to know their leaders, get to know their community, and understand from that. I believe that we can establish that initial communication from what we can, and garner a perspective in which I could assess and like respond to their needs. If they want, whether they want to be more active in the Mafa community, it's just understanding what they have, what they think the role of Mafa is at their school, and working with that.
All right, and then I'm going to ask one more question. So you mentioned in your application about having monthly informal meetings with Mafa board, but in the past experiences, obviously with the board being from all across the Midwest, it is very difficult to meet in person and as well in virtual meetings because of the time difference. So how can you gauge interest or deal with everyone's busy schedule?
I guess the first part of that would be gauging interest. I would try to, promote these monthly meetings to like as like a way to bond with board, especially since because we're working together throughout the year, it's really important for us to know each other on a personal and professional level. So that's what I would promote, that it would help us overall as a board to work together. To answer the question about getting us all together at once, I would just try to understand everybody's schedule, and establish that at the beginning of the year, and then set out a poll to see what day would work for everybody. And if not everybody, then the majority, because it's unrealistic to expect everybody to attend, as much as that would be the ideal.
All right, and then we have one last question from a Mafa member. What was your major takeaway from your experience as PSA UIUC VPE, and how do you plan to implement that to the Mafa board community as Mafa president?
I think my biggest takeaway from my experience as VP external is balancing and prioritizing both internal and external affairs. Initially, I really wanted for PSA to be more external, and to plan around that, but I didn't initially understand that internal things do take precedence, and it is when we have a cohesive and strong internal strength that we can expand to other things.
All right. Sorry. Thank you, Summer. That is all for the Q&A. Again, we will be reaching out to you with the results in the week. But that is all. Thank you so much, and have a wonderful night. We'll reach out to you soon.
Thank you.
Bye, Summer. Thank you.
Yay, our first candidate. So our next candidate is also going to be from UIUC, Randall Tran. He'll be running for the VPE position. And he'll be running at 7:20 p.m. CST or 8:20 p.m. EST for those of you who want to know that are watching live. Yes, so yeah.
Most likely and all that.
Yeah, we can do another most likely. If you're watching, feel free to send us most likely that you want to hear from for Mafa board to answer. Oh,
I think Maddie's done.
Yeah, I have her link open. So we just got a couple more superlatives here. Let's see. So let's go with these classic yearbook superlatives. First one, best all around on Mafa board.
Same.
Just best all around.
Sammy's best all around. I think we're all best all around, but yeah.
Nina.
Oh my God, Nina!
Look at her resume
all the time. I don't know how she's alive right now, you guys.
Oh no, yeah, actually you're right.
I need more context because you guys know that I identify myself as not only Filipino but a mess. Like that's honestly my intro for everything. Every meeting, like I'm late, I'm a mess, but I'm here. So
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure that's close to best all around.
Look up in the dictionary.
All right, class clown.
Rafi.
Rafi.
So goofy.
Yeah.
He's so goofy.
Most athletic.
Nicole.
Thanks,
guys. I was gonna say Marlo.
Fitness plan.
Who?
Oh, fitness plans, Nicole. Fitness plans.
Yeah.
Oh,
Nicole,
I have them.
Fitness plans.
Fat in our swimsuit.
Stop it!
Summer, like.
It's all natural.
Oh, natural. I'll share them with you guys.
Fitness plans, I say, as I eat pizza. It does not have pineapple on it, but
Dad.
As you're holding the pizza.
I know.
Most changed from when we all met each other to now.
Both of you.
Well, you're staff.
Person, Nicole, not situation.
Oh,
Yeah, person.
to your own interpretation.
Most changed individually.
Not dating status.
Not dating.
Not dating.
I feel like Emily Valentine, you've changed a lot.
I know my hair changed.
I think because junior year is a very like trivial moment in your college career in terms of how much growth you like face, and I think being on by Nihon's board and on Mafa board really like helped you grow. Same with Rafi too. So
I think so too.
Yeah.
props to you guys.
Yeah. Definitely junior year is the biggest time for change. Okay, best bromance goes to
Marlo and David, Marlo and Kevin.
Marlo,
Nina.
yeah, Marlo and every other guy.
Mafa board boyfriend.
Marlo and everyone.
Yeah.
best bromance.
Yeah, Marlo is everyone.
Who is most likely to live in a different country?
Maddie.
Daddy.
I wanna live in London. So
Or Emily Brielle.
yeah, or Emily Brielle.
Nah, Emily Brielle.
Okay.
I mean, like you want to move to a new country?
Yeah. I thought
Oh,
about
okay.
it.
Oh,
Which country do you want to move to, Emily?
What country, Emily?
Korea.
It's
Yeah.
good that you're trying that out then.
That's why I'm going.
My Ponzo's there now, and she's like living her best life, Emily.
Oh my god, Emily, you're gonna love Korea. I like honestly think you're gonna love Korea as much.
You're gonna love Korea.
I've been there for a week and a half, and I came back saying, "Mom, I will move there." That was 3 years ago, so I don't think it's changed.
Oh, good. At least you're consistent.
Has Randall
Yeah.
message Nicole?
No. Oh wait, yes he did. Scene.
Ooh, most likely to be the biggest prankster.
Rafi.
Yeah.
Thinking about Rafi.
Oh, Randall's here.
Hi, Randall.
Hello.
Where is he?
Wait, I don't see him. I just got a notification that Randall.
got the notification, but
Oh, he left.
Yeah. Oh, there he is. Randall?
Hello, Randall.
Wow, that fresh cut.
Yeah, for real. What the hell?
no, just for lecture.
Randall?
Hello, Randall.
Wow, that fresh
I
cut.
have to get ready for the
Real
Philippines.
No, just for lecture.
No, I'm going to the Philippines. Hi, hello.
Wow, that fresh cut.
No, just for lecture.
No, I'm going to the Philippines. I can't hear anybody. Wait, whoa. Oh, wait, sorry. It was from a previous link.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. All right. Oh, that was awkward.
Sorry, that was awkward.
Okay. Hello, Randall. Welcome. to the 2018-2019 Mafa board elections. So just to reiterate, you do get 5 minutes for your speech and then another 5 minutes for Q&A. And then Emily Valentine here, she has the times. So she'll be holding up a 2-minute mark, 1 minute mark, and then a 30-second mark.
All
right. So you can start whenever, and Emily will just start the time once you begin.
Hello, Mafa board and Mafa members. My name is Randall Tran. I'm an upcoming junior at the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign, majoring in community health and integrative biology pre-med track. This current school year, I've served in the position of awareness chair within the Philippine Student Association at UIUC. Today, I'm running for Mafa's Vice President External Chair. Throughout the school year, being on board with the Philippine Student Association has taught me more than be a student on campus. I have learned the importance of externalizing and Asian awareness as a leader on a predominantly white campus. Throughout my experiences of gain knowledge and tasks executed, I am capable to do the role of Vice President External for Mafa Board. Upon attending my first Midwest Filipino American Summit school year 2016-2017 at Marquette University, I did not know anyone, nor did I know what it holds. As I stepped into the auditorium filled with students from different schools, I felt a strong and dedicated energy from the audience representing the ethnicity and school pride. At this large conference, everyone was talking among one another, introducing themselves to new faces. The observed actions caused me to open myself up and take the initiative step and talk to everyone when I got the chance. My networking skills have improved dramatically within that weekend. I did not expect an organization in the Midwest could expand my views and impact my interest heavily that I want to run for this position. The position of Vice President External interests me because I understand the importance of communicating and connecting with other Filipino X and Asian organizations. Being on board with PSA, I've learned that communicating with other organizations to establish new connections is critical. Having other resources for ideas, planning, and feedback is a major factor for development and success. This past month, I was able to reconnect with an old friend who is a part of Anak Bayan, New Jersey, within New Jersey City University. Majority of the people within I met in that sphere have never heard of Mafa, nor knew what Filipino organizations in other Midwest locations. I was able to speak to the Filipino Student Organization at Rutgers University in New Jersey as well. Speaking to other Filipino organizations outside of Mafa gave a different perspective on how organizations can be ran or new ideas to integrate into Mafa. Looking at the Mafa Constitution, it states that VPE has the task of networking with organizations outside of Mafa. I would like to try to maintain a relationship with organizations outside of the Midwest, ranging from East Coast to the West Coast, as well as outside the country. The Filipino community in the West Coast has a strong and well-established community due to dedicated Filipino organizations at universities. I plan to attend events in the West Coast that have events such as friendship games to meet a mass amount of schools to externalize. This benefits Mafa to be visible throughout the West Coast and recruit other schools to facilitate and attend MFAS. Being a brother of Alpha Phi Omega, there is a chapter in the Philippines, Manila, connected to the fraternity. I plan to connect with them as well to discuss future possible collaborations and fundraisers. The Constitution says that the alumni network falls within VPE, and it is important to understand the continuous externalization through this task. Those who are part of Mafa and/or Filipino American Unity for Progress Incorporation, UniPro, can benefit those who are currently in Mafa. Throughout the Mafa intern time span, I have taken the responsibility to create a document containing their personal information and careers. Mafa steer to reach out their resources within the alums, such as internships, advice, guidance, and even job opportunities. Alumni Network also gives alums a chance to be part of Mafa sphere even though they have graduated. Mafa, the home of the Filipino Midwest, is an organization that connects everyone together. Mafa shapes all individuals to be leaders and help each member to grow. I have felt a personal connection with the Filipinx culture more despite being non-Filipino and wish to continue that connection to all Filipinx, Asian, and Asian Americans. Being on PSA board have taught me more than educate others on topics such as social justice, stereotypes, Filipino diaspora, and microaggression, but as well as a leader. Being a leader requires strong communication skills. I aim to utilize my skills and build new ones within the 2018-2019 Vice President External position, Mafa Board. Thank you for listening.
All right. Thank you so much, Randall. Good job on your speech. So we're going to have Nina, our current VPE, ask you any questions that she has, And then we'll also let you know if there are other Mafa members who have questions as well. And again, Emily will have the time minutes. Yeah. So 2 minutes, 1 minute, and 30 seconds.
Right.
Well, first off, good job on your speech, Randall. One thing that I have, it's not necessarily anything specific within your speech or application, but as a general question, although your main responsibility as VPE would be, in charge of any external relations outside of Mafa, obviously, what type of involvement do you feel like you would have specifically to the internal community of Mafa within your position?
Well, being on board with BPE, I will be in charge of utilizing schools in the Mafa sphere to be connected with Mafa more and have a higher attendance rate for MFAS as well. Being able to grab other organizations within the Midwest to come join Mafa is also a critical role as a BPE. I know schools in the Wisconsin where they're really small and members are really interested in becoming an org, but they can't be. But that doesn't limit them not being in part of Mafa. So instead, individual members could also be in charge and be a part of Mafa by themselves and just be a part of a family if they wanted to be. Another main thing will have to be getting schools that are already established with Mafa, but as well as connecting, building their relationship with Mafa more and making sure that they are stable and well connected with Mafa.
All right, Randall, we have a question from a Mafa member. What are your other commitments next year, and how do you plan to be transparent with other officers on Mafa board when you are experiencing burnout and or personal struggles?
This this current school year, I have dealt with personal issues regarding school and personal life and being transparent. I felt like throughout that experience that I have faced, I become a better person and willing to be more transparent and understanding that transparency is key to a board's dynamic to collaborate. My next year's commitment, I am not running for PSA at University of Illinois, but I am just be taking regular classes and just focusing on classes and hopefully being on board with Mafa to utilize my time and experiences within the Mafa sphere and Mafa board. Within that being said and adding off to my first statement, I plan to talk to all Mafa board members who I feel are on board with me, because Mafa board, we work as a team, not as an individual or a two-way where one person works with another person, but instead everyone works together. Transparency is key.
I have another question, Randall. In terms of, I know you talked about Unipro and Anak Bayan. In terms of using, you referred a lot to the Mafa Alumni Network and using professional organizations in that way of providing other opportunities for Mafa members. Do you feel that the use of professional Filipino organizations, do you feel like there's any type of other benefits that Mafa could benefit from by keeping that relationship with them?
Are you talking about the alumni? I'm sorry.
Just in general, professional Filipino organizations across the nation.
Professional Filipino organizations also across the nation also benefit Mafa in general, because it shows that Mafa is being visible within these communities and organizations, that Mafa is partaking their stand within them, and the fact that we could benefit from it is personal resources, such as using them to either facilitate at workshops, events, or even giving us feedback is a major key, because understanding that we have these open resources behind us to use, let us be visible no matter what, because we're here to talk to them and connect and communicate. Because I know, for example, NAFA is one, the National Federation of Filipino American Association. I just recently became a member. But even though I have not personally got to attend an event yet, but through listening to Nina Cedro's talk about attending their events and conferences across like the whole country, like the East Coast, West Coast, brings my interest in BPE and understanding that this is a way to utilize our resource.
All right, we have time for one more question. Do you have a question? One more question, Nina?
If there's a Mafa member question, you can go for it.
There are currently none, so you got it.
Oh, okay. Also, just in general, do you feel like how much of your time do you feel like that you're going to be spending on Mafa in a week, like on a weekly or monthly basis? Just because it's not like a defined role like everybody else's role. How do you feel like you're going to be able to balance it with like kind of you have to kind of do your own research. Like, how do you plan to approach that?
Well, thanks to PSA, when I first came to college, I didn't even know what like Google Calendar was, like being serious. But I learned how to use Google Calendar, and I utilize my organization skills, especially when it comes to studying, when it comes to time management, when it comes to either like collaborating with other PSA officers. So within like a week time span, I would like usually set off a schedule, a time frame for when I'm gonna be like, researching background information on other organizations outside of Mafa, or within the Mafa Midwest to utilize and talk to other schools to connect with Mafa. Usually on my free time, I'm always looking at conferences and ways to find ways to connect with like the West Coast a lot. So I feel like it's already secondhand nature.
Okay, perfect. Sorry, I know I saw Emily's signal, so thank you, Randall, for answering all my questions.
All right, but thank you so much, Randall. So your time is up, and again, awesome job in your speech, awesome job in Q&A, and we will be getting back to you within the week with the results.
Thank you, guys. Thank you all my athletes. Thank you, Mafa board. I love you guys. Bye.
Great, thank you. Good night.
Good job, Addie.
Yay! You did it. All right, it's rolling. It's rolling. Okay, so how do you get out of?
Oh, okay.
We're gonna leave it on Nina's face, or not. Just kidding. Okay, it's back to my face. But yes, all right. So we're gonna go back to superlatives, most likely to statements. Does anyone else have any on board? We'll just keep. Or do we have any from Mafa members?
See, some of these I don't want to say out loud because I feel like I already know the person I would say right away.
Most likely to win the lottery and lose the ticket.
Don't look at me. I would say it's Rafi or me, okay? You don't need to say it's just me. I would like to point that out.
I think it's you, Emily.
Yeah, I was gonna say Emily.
Also be Nina on special days, okay?
Honestly, you know what? I'm a mess, and I'm proud of it. And we'll just leave it at that. I thought I would nominate myself too.
Okay, I think we know the answer to this one, but most likely to quietly take over the world.
Quietly though?
Quietly.
Kala?
Oh.
Yeah, everyone else on board would do it really loudly or not
I
at
was
all.
like, who's quietly?
Right. I am the quietest one on board.
Quiet, you guys didn't even know.
Like Emily LeBeau is quiet, but she wouldn't take over the world, is what I'm saying.
She asked if she could take over the world. Okay, let's see. I know who we want for this one, but most likely to get married first.
That's not fair. There are plenty of other people on this board that have significant others. Kala and Andrew technically are the longer ones, so.
But we all know how I feel. So, Kala isn't getting married for a very long time.
I am in full support of all of your relationships.
I'm supportive of all your relationships.
All right, stand low. Let's go.
Our next candidate is going to be Heather from UWM-FSU, and she'll be running for the treasurer position. So Nicole can send that out in the next couple of minutes.
Okay. Best person to share a deserted island with.
I was looking at that one. Emily Brielle.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know. I don't know if I would say like she's the one who would like try to get off as fast, but she would be the one you wouldn't want to kill as fast.
Yeah, I feel like Nicole, if you want to survive, I would stay with Nicole. But if I just want to have a good time, I'd stay with Emily Wilbo.
Are you saying I'm not a good time?
I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that Emily LeBeau is really nice. And I think even you would choose Emily LeBeau.
Yeah, you're right.
Wait, who got the highest score on the survival?
Not me.
David did.
Yeah, David did.
That was cheating.
But like, out of all of us.
Well, I mean, I took it before you guys did, so.
What you got the first
and
time?
both like were dead. Like we were in the lowest scoring group.
Yeah,
I did survive in the end. I will say I did survive in the end when I took it the first time.
I barely survived.
I didn't survive.
I didn't survive.
I don't think I died first, but I definitely died. Somewhere along that.
Okay, since a bunch of us are graduating, most likely to be late to graduation.
Nicole.
Nicole.
No, everybody really fast. Like
Nicole, you know why? You know why Nicole would be late? It's because her mom would call her. Yeah. That's why Nicole's late to everything.
Hello, Heather.
Hi, Heather.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to the 2018-2019 Mafa Board term elections. So just to reiterate that you get 5 minutes for your speech and then another 5 minutes for the Q&A. And then if you look at Emily Valentine, she has the time sheets, the 2-minute mark and 1 minute mark and 30-second mark. So she will begin the time when you are ready, and whenever you begin talking, she'll just start.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I just want to first say thanks to the Mafa Board for giving me the opportunity to speak to you and the rest of the Mafa sphere today. I'm Heather Ordonez, and I will be a senior studying industrial engineering at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I am one of the founders of the Filipino Student Union at UWM, and I currently serve as the treasurer for this term. Today, I will be running for Mafa Board Treasurer for the 2018-2019 school year. I mentioned earlier that I was currently treasurer for the Filipino Student Union. With that, my responsibilities included handling every financial aspect of the organization, providing treasury visibility to the rest of our board members at any given time, leading fundraisers and providing ideas for future funding, applying for grants for any Mafa event that my org will attend, like FACT or MFAS. I mentored a treasurer intern, and I created the UWM FSU group Venmo that will be implemented next year. I know that being a first-year org came with several problems, and in turn, we've faced multiple failures and learning experiences together as a board. But we've learned to embrace those failures, though, and learn from them instead of letting them get the best of us. And I think that's what makes us pretty different from other orgs on campus. What I'm trying to say is that even though we are really just starting out as an org, I feel like I would still have a lot to contribute by being on board. For example, in the beginning of each fall and spring semester, I would like to create a big picture budget and quarterly budgets underneath that, because sound financial planning is key in keeping an organization well supported. These budgets will be adjusted accordingly and can be accessed by any board member. Another treasury methodology I would like to implement is to have a financial journal in the Mafa Google Drive, in which I would scan and attach all of our receipts and keep track of all our financial records. This will be updated frequently with a timestamp and also easily accessible by any board member. If elected on board, I will create a Mafa Group Venmo account in which the treasurer and president can have access to. This will be linked to the bank account, and administrative roles can be passed on as the next board is elected. I would also like to have a Mafa treasurer group chat so that the treasurers from every Mafa school can communicate with each other about bookkeeping techniques, treasury methods, and maybe even fundraising ideas. Lastly, I would like to implement a type of treasury standard in which the board would renew every year. After speaking with past Mafa treasurers, it seems as if each treasurer has had their own financial process for the organization. I believe that an organization should hold some consistency, especially with their finances. The Treasury Standard would include templates on Google Sheets that will be used each year so that future treasurers may look back and see how things were done and hopefully find room for improvement. I know this might be a lot to achieve, but I know it'll be worth it if it's for something that I love. As treasurer, people usually think that this position only deals with money, but I know that working on a board with several other members, I'm aware that sometimes life gets in the way. I just want the board to know that I'm so willing to help out in any area that's needed, even if it's not in the job description. Mafa has had such a positive influence in my life. It's what led my friends and I to create FSU. It's given me a safe space to express my creative and cultural thoughts and ideas. I'm thankful that I've had several opportunities to go back home to the Philippines, but I know that my friends here may not have had that same experience with that, and so the only cultural exposure that they get is the events that Mafa can provide, like MFAS and FACT. And that's my intention and motivation for running on board. I want to be able to provide members with the same sense of home and family that I experienced by being involved with Mafa. An iconic artist named Biggie once said, "Mo money, mo problems." And I can assure you that today, if I have the privilege of being elected on board, that won't ever be the case. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, Heather. Awesome speech. I liked the quote at the end. I was very thrown off by it. But yeah, it's an awesome job. Next, we will be having the Q&A. Again, if you look at Emily Valentine, she has the times with the 2-minute, 1-minute, and 30-second sheets. And Kala, our current Mafa treasurer, will be starting off with the questions.
Okay, so my first question is more like a general question, not necessarily a treasure-specific question, but are you running for a certain position on FSU boards for the upcoming school year? And if so, and you do get the position, how do you plan on balancing that as well as Mafa board?
I plan on running for Vice President Internal of FSU, and I know that might sound like a lot, running for Mafa board as well. But in my past experience, I was also the president of the Supply Chain Management Association at my school for a year, and I can assure you that even though it was difficult, I found the time management skills necessary through experience by keeping an organized schedule. And also Mafa has had a top priority in my life so far. Even with just elections, I've made sure that all of my prior schoolwork and appointments are scheduled before any Mafa events have been scheduled. Like this election, for example, I made sure most of my homework was done, so that was off my mind before this election. So.
Awesome, great. And for my second question is a big task for treasurer is filling out and keeping the non-for-profit status for Mafa board. How do you plan on going about that since it's been optional in the past years? Do you plan on going forward with it? Do you plan on keeping it? What's your plan with that?
Yes, I think it's very important to have that nonprofit status because when I do the taxes in April, I believe that we'll be able to gain a lot of money back from that, from speaking with past treasurers and asking what the benefit of that was. And so after analyzing their answers, I believe that it is important to hold the nonprofit status because we'll be able to get more money back and in turn give more back to our charitable giving for that year.
All right, we don't have any other questions from the Mafa members, but do we actually, yeah, no, we don't. But I do have a question. So there's a possibility that you'll be working with other FSU members on Mafa board if they were to be elected, or if you were to be elected as well. So just knowing people already on board, having those personal relationships, how are you going to balance that personal and professional relationship with them being on Mafa board as a possibility?
Oh, I know that Francis and Jessica are also running for Mafa board. And when we created FSU, we were friends beforehand. But before we created FSU, we had an agreement that of our mission to spread cultural awareness. And with doing so, I know that doing business, not business, but going into a sort of business with your friends is sometimes a bad idea. But we've had contracts, several discussions about our relationships while acting in front of the general board and the general members. And I know that I think it will actually benefit, because since we know each other beforehand, if we do run into a problem, we have that sort of comfort with when it comes to confronting maybe an issue on board. Maybe I can use that relationship that I have with Francis and Jessica to kind of understand their point of view as a friend and also as a board member.
We have 30 seconds left. Does anyone else on board have one more question that they can ask Heather? Emily, can I ask? Yes. Emily Valentine's is going to ask you a question. She's going to come over here. Whenever she unmutes her laptop, it
To
echoes.
make it like really quick, what would you say is like your biggest advantage and your greatest disadvantage if you were to get on Mafa board?
I think my greatest advantage is that I do have past treasure experience, so I know what works for me and what doesn't. However, I think my biggest disadvantage is that this is the first year that FSU has been created, so what might work for me might not work for the rest of the board for Mafa. So I know that I have to have a different mindset when I go on to, if I am elected on Mafa board. And I think my greatest disadvantage is lack of experience with other boards. So.
All right, thank you so much, Heather. Good job on your speech. Good job on your Q&A. You will hear back with the results within the week. So, yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Good job, Heather.
Thank you. Have a good rest of your night.
Good night. Bye, Heather.
Bye.
Bye. Yo, same. See, she said good night. Saying
Nicole, stop it.
Saying.
It's because it's her bedtime in like 12 minutes.
Oh, stop.
No.
You're out of school. You're fine.
It's because she starts her full-time job tomorrow.
Also, I apologize. I forgot the time on that question thing, so that was all estimation. I'm so sorry.
No wonder. I was like, wait.
I know. I went right to the 1 minute because I was like, I have no idea.
Okay, next we got Megan.
Estimate 3 questions per person. I'm sorry. I will time better.
All right. Our next interview will be at 8 p.m. CST, and it'll be Megan, Pedro.
I know her.
She'll be running for events coordinator. Hello. The Valentine's position. Cool. All right, let's continue with the superlatives.
Most likely to run off with the circus.
Raffy. Raffy is the circus.
I love how she's like not even here to like defend herself.
Fine.
Would this then still be true? Because I was thinking about one of the two. Either, how about most likely to leave and never come back?
Leave and never come back from what? From life?
All of
Like,
I leave life and never come back.
Where do they go?
Where did it go? I don't know.
I was thinking Nicole though.
Oh, I think Nicole's like most likely to like stay.
See that.
Oh, come on.
She'll just.
I have like leadership superlatives. I was looking these up.
Oh.
Let's see. Let's see. Most persistent in the face of unanticipated challenges.
Sammy.
Sammy.
I also say Sammy.
Sammy.
Sammy's very good at being persistent.
Confrontation queen.
Yeah. Best at taking initiative and pursuing personal passions. These are really long.
Nina.
I was gonna say Nina.
I was gonna say Maddie.
Wait, what?
I was gonna say Maddie for that one.
Oh, that's so nice.
Nicole, get
Stop rubbing your face.
I'm so sleepy. Yeah, Nicole, stop touching your face.
Okay.
Everyone, whenever you see Nicole touching her face, message her to stop touching her face. Everyone watching, you too.
Thanks, guys.
You're welcome.
Message me or Mafa.
Let's see. Best problem solver.
Depends on the problem.
Yeah, it depends on the problem.
Case by case.
I'm good at solving math problems. I don't know.
I'm good at, like, if some random dude in the club trying to get at my friends, I freaking
This
punch
is
the
true.
shit out of him.
Nicole, I've
That's like
seen it
you not
happen.
solving a problem. That's you wanting to throw hands. There's a difference.
Oh,
That is a difference.
I usually, if that happens, I usually just go up to them and I'm just like, no.
I just stand there and hope they push me so that I can fight them.
When it happens to me and Rafi, we're just like, bye.
I just yell at them.
Yeah, that's true. Emily, you do yell at them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, most likely to open a yoga studio.
Who does
Kayla.
yoga here?
Kayla has a yoga mat.
She has a yoga mat.
I have to.
She's
Lemons.
What?
ahead of us by one.
I feel like Emily Braille.
Oh,
Does she do yoga
She
though?
did silks.
I don't think any of us do yoga.
Yeah, she did aerial yoga.
Oh.
Oh.
I just
Dude, I've
don't-
always wanted to try that.
I love aerial yoga. I've done it once.
I've done bar. Bar's pretty hard.
True.
just see like Maddie and Sammy together, like being the owners, but Emily running it.
I could see her running like the yoga session.
Yeah.
Yeah, she would like
Yeah.
be able to like really confident.
I was gonna say, I think she's the most calm.
Yeah, she'd be really encouraging too. Like, it's okay if you can't at the pose, just get as close as you can.
My hero.
Most likely to join a nunnery. So most likely to be a nun.
Oh,
None of us. What's up? No. None of us.
None
of
us.
None of us, nope.
But most likely. Hypothetically.
I don't think any of us. I can't even think of anyone because. Oh no.
Like, on Insta, just so cute. Like, it's not
I'm
gonna.
trying to think of like who's the most religious, but
Okay, I see. I think of the most religious, but then like you also think of like there's the social aspect of the person. So I don't think it works out. So
Well, nuns have different personalities still. Like this one sister when I was in Catholic school, she was really mean.
Marlo's
Yell at
triggered.
everyone.
Marlo's triggered.
Wow, the truth is coming out here.
she would like whip out the yardstick and she'd be like, "Oh, I can't do this anymore."
Carla, we're lost.
I mean,
Wow, we're learning so much about each other today.
Catholic.
and it only took us a
We're
year.
already friends.
Me and Rafi went to the St. Catholic school.
Oh yeah, you guys met in church.
We met at church.
It's a nice church.
We're probably the least religious on board, though.
No, I think Kayla is.
What?
I think you're the least religious.
Girl, I go to church.
Yeah, I know, but like, I don't
I'm
know.
just not Catholic. There's a difference. I'm not like Catholic religious.
Okay, but I think that's why I just think of you as the least religious. You just say you're not Catholic all the time.
Because I'm not. I'm a
I know, but
non-denominational.
you say it all the time.
Yes, but like my religion is like different from Catholicism by a lot, even though it's both Christianity. I'm still religious.
So are you spiritual or?
That's a non-denomination.
Non-denominational, yeah.
I would say I'm more faithful.
Hi, Megan.
Hi, Megan.
Sorry, I'm in like a random call.
Interrupting the deep moment.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, it's
Oh,
okay.
you guys are matching.
Wow, we're wearing both our jackets.
Wow. Wow. Do you guys work for Tesla or something?
You work for
Who
Tesla.
knows? Sorry, I think it's loud. There's like drilling and stuff going on downstairs. So
Are you sitting on the floor?
I am. I'm in the hallway. I have like I have a competition coming up this week, and we're preparing for that. So
Look, you were sitting on the floor during your elections.
Valid.
Your mom yelled at you during your election.
Yeah, that was the most. I was sweating. I remember that. Thanks, Nina.
Sorry.
All right, Megan. Welcome to the 2018-2019 Mafa Board elections, round 1. So just to reiterate, you get 5 minutes for your speech and 5 minutes for the Q&A. And Emily Valentine, you just look at her below. She has the minute mark, the 2-minute mark, the 1-minute mark, and the 30-second mark. So she'll begin the time whenever you're ready.
okay, thank you. Good evening, Mafa Board and Mafa members. My name is Megan Sedro, and I am currently a first-year student with sophomore standing at the University of Michigan Dearborn, studying mechanical engineering. Today, I will be running for the position of events coordinator for the 2018-2019 Mafa Executive Board. This past semester, I had the privilege of being a Mafa Board intern under Emily Valentine, where I was able to learn a little bit more about what the events coordinator does and the amount of commitment and organization this position holds. I believe that being a great communicator, being organizational, and being professional are traits that are vital to holding this position. Through my previous experiences and hard work ethic, I think I possess these 3 qualities and can be a great fit to being our next events coordinator. My overall goal for being on Mafa Board is to promote cultural awareness and bring more of a focus onto cultural and historical aspects of Filipino and APIA culture. Being a great communicator is arguably one of the most important traits for being events coordinator, since they have to act as a liaison to Mafa member schools as well as coordinate the events calendar. Likewise, being organizational is critical in order to meet deadlines and make sure that events run smoothly. Lastly, being professional is imperative when addressing conflict and holding parties accountable for their tasks. I think through my experience as being the head editor of my yearbook last year, I really learned how to apply these traits, as well as learned how to act as a liaison and communicate with other members of different committees. I had many deadlines to meet and had to coordinate each committee's deadlines as well, holding them accountable for their tasks while also holding myself accountable for mine. I feel that the events coordinator goes through the same process when helping with the planning of MFOS and planning the events calendar, having to stay on top of people and hold them accountable for their parts while also being accountable for my own. As events coordinator, I plan on continuing Emily Valentine's use of the events calendar for each month of the year, showing all of the upcoming events within the Mafa sphere and promoting it on Facebook. However, I do want to start focusing on the cultural and historical aspect as well, including Philippine national holidays or big events that happened that month, or even APIA holidays or events. When making this post, I want to include event information for each school, as well as the significance of these historical and cultural events. I feel that Mafa, in my opinion, is starting to lose a bit of that cultural touch, and I want to reinforce why we are so united as Asian Americans and promote this cultural awareness. Secondly, I'd like to start implementing incentives for members' schools, if possible, in order to increase the amount of reflections on Mafa events, such as MFOS, LR, and FACT. I think that feedback and communication is super important in putting on a great event. And I know that currently, schools are given these reflection forms in order to give feedback about an event. However, to my understanding, not every member school fills these out. I would love to work with the treasurer in order to create an incentive where, for example, filling out a reflection for a certain event will give them a chance to win Platinum Mafa membership for the next school year. Since there are multiple events during the school year, filling more of these out will increase their chances to win. Lastly, I want to work really closely with the school hosting MFOS in order to make a great event. Attending many PCNs, as well as several FACs and MFOSs, have made me reflect on what I would like to make better. From pricing to workshop incentives and turnouts to the direction and the quality of the workshops, I want to be heavily involved in the process in order to make a really great event. With these ideas in mind, I hope to increase cultural awareness as well as promote the importance of feedback. I have been in Mafa for 2 years now, starting when I was a senior in high school since Nina was involved in Mafa at that point. I started going to events and meeting more Filipinos in my community, helping me grow my passion for the Filipino and Asian American culture. The internship project this past semester helped me really express my love and passion for promoting cultural awareness, making me realize that I want to have a greater voice in our community and encourage others to tie themselves deeper to their roots. Likewise, attending QUAC in the past year's MFOS really solidified my want to be a leader in our community, helping others with their leadership and always working towards improvement. As mentioned in my application, I'd love to be more involved with planning QUAC content and promoting awareness for APIA and Filipino heritage. Mafa's overall goal, as stated in the Constitution, reads Mafa exists to promote unity and cooperation amongst Filipino and Filipino Americans around the Midwest by promoting culture and Asian American awareness, coordinating meetings and events, and supporting the objectives of the Mafa member organizations. I believe that we, as an organization, have done a great job at uniting and coordinating events. However, my main motivation for running for Mafa board is to promote cultural awareness. Mafa has given me the resources in order to find my passion, and I'd love to be part of someone else's growth and their journey to find love and support through Mafa as well. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Megan. Good job on your speech. Emily's gonna come around here for your for your 5-minute Q&A, and Marla will be doing time. So, 2 minutes, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. So yeah. All right. Hi, Megan. So good job. So I just have a few questions for you. The first question is, with your busy schedule that you've mentioned on your application, including classes, 30 to 40 like work hours, and then also the building thing you're doing, will you also be dancing with the team or doing any other extracurriculars?
As of right now, no, I'm not planning on doing dance. As of right now, what I have scheduled is just what I've mentioned on my application. And I think it is very feasible just because this semester I did all those same things, minus the dancing again. And I was still able to very much keep up with like the internship program and meet with like my interns at least 2 or 3 times a week in order to try and create our workshop. So I definitely think it'll be possible to still attend meetings from Mafa board and keep on top of my tasks.
Mm-hmm. And then just to follow up, so while I have like no doubt that you're able to do this and balance things, knowing that Mafa board is across the Midwest and that schedules are not only difficult to like figure out, but also because of time zones and the fact that they're online, this can be very stressful. So when you're trying to find time for homework or even just time for yourself, how do you manage stress?
I manage stress mainly by like, this may sound really cheesy, but I really confide in my sister because like my sister, as you guys know, is a mess. And I feel like her schedule is way busier than mine. So like if I get stressed, I'll like go to her and I'll see how much she's doing. And I'm like, why am I stressed? She's like doing so much. Then I'll be like, okay, cool. Like I can handle it. It's fine. Or I'll take like a really quick power nap and like wake up and be like, okay, I need to like just calm down. I kind of just go through like my own internal process and I'm like, hey, like there's much bigger things in the world right now. Focus on what you need to get done. Take it one task at a time, and then just get back to doing what I'm doing.
And then, so you mentioned how you confront a conflict on your application, and then you also referenced in your speech. Do you mind giving an example of when you applied this and what the result was?
Yeah. So as I mentioned before, I was the head editor of my yearbook, and so just like I said, there was a lot of deadlines that each committee had to meet and the deadlines that I had to meet. So when they had to meet their deadlines, they had to have their finished page and I would just edit it and then send it to be published. A lot of the time, specifically one example, I will never forget it. There is this like one economics page that needed to get done and by a certain day so that I had time to edit it and complete it. they didn't really submit it on the deadline after like multiple emails, multiple like in-person confrontations and everything, and staying on top of that person. At that point, I kind of just had to take on the role myself and also ask other committees for help, just because there was so much of my workload that I really could not fit into my schedule. And I had to tell myself like, hey, like I really cannot do this. So maybe on top of what I'm doing, just try and contribute as much as possible, but also see if I could seek help with it. So for the economics page, I had to reach out to a different committee and just be like, hey, do you guys mind taking on some of this? And then I can also like work on some of the content, but do you guys mind kind of splitting the work with me?
Good answer. And then last question for me at least is, of the listed interests you have, and you've referenced it too, you mentioned that you would love to plan content for FAM, API Heritage Month, or QUAC, and that's also a top motivator for why you're running. I'm curious, do you have any QUAC or workshop ideas right now that you would like love for them to happen?
So like for my intern project, I'd hope to probably implement that at some point, either for MFOS or FACT. I really think that me and my intern group still really have a passion for what we did. And it was very much cultural based and self-reflection based on like what they think or how they think they are, or what level they are involved in their culture. And I really enjoyed doing that. So hopefully for the upcoming workshop, we can actually implement that. But also for QUAC, I really got inspired by how you guys talked about conflict this year and how to address conflict, because I think that's something that's really big with the board. I don't know if I would do that for QUAC again, just because you guys did it so recently, but I'd love to do something in terms of leadership with communication, probably, and like transparency and like the importance of that. And also, like I said, like feedback, just because feedback is very, very important to any event or board, and kind of going in with positive, if someone's giving you feedback, kind of like thinking about how they're coming in with positive intent and to not really take it as negative criticism, but think like they're trying to do it to help you, and kind of get people to realize that. Because I feel like there's a negative stigma when it comes to like feedback and criticism.
Thank you, Megan. I don't have any more questions. You said we had less than 30 seconds left?
No more time.
No more time? Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
So much, Megan. We will be getting back to you with the results within the week. And that is all for now. Thank you so much. Thank you for your time, and have a good night.
You too. Bye, guys. Good luck.
That's safe home.
I will. Oh my God, she's crying. Someone stop her. Bye-bye.
Bye.
I'm freaking dead. She was like, I think my sister is a mess.
Come for you, Nina.
She really attacked me. I was in the middle of crying.
That was so funny.
Oh, I'm gonna text Rafi.
Oh
yeah.
We got 10 minutes, 12 minutes.
Okay.
So
We gotta find new, more most likely to questions.
what are the other ones that we had? Most likely, what was the most likely to have kids first?
You.
Oh. Hi, Rafi. Hi, everyone.
How's studying?
It's going well.
Hello, Rafi.
Wait, Rafi, you have to introduce yourself now.
Okay. What do I say besides?
Position, major.
Okay. Hi, everyone. I'm Rafi Taralwa. I am the co-outreach for Mafa. I go to the University of Wisconsin-Madison, and I'm finishing my junior year. And I'm studying biology, Asian American studies, and global health.
Wow.
And I'm studying, so that's why I haven't been here.
I said this already, but I was muted. So yes, since Rafi is the outreach, same as Maddie, our next candidate is going to be Jessica Cruz from UWM-FSU, and she'll be speaking at 8:20 p.m. CST. So yellow.
Yay.
Yes, continue, Maddie, with superlatives.
Wait, what?
Not many superlatives so far.
I don't know. I'm trying to look some up right now. Please send some so we don't have to look them up.
Yes, please.
Yeah. Most likely to be the best shoulder to cry on.
Maddie.
Oh,
I was gonna say
Yeah. Maddie,
Who
or
said full?
yeah.
Really?
I think all of you are really great shoulders to cry on. I've honestly messaged our Marlo's Angels chat saying like, "You guys are the best friends ever." I have to. So.
We do would you rather question.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, let me.
I have one. Well, it's not really a would you rather, but it's just like this or that. What was it? Fried or steamed?
Fried.
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 Right.
Wait.
Healthier. Steam's healthier.
Well, you know what? You didn't give us our fitness plan, so we don't know that.
I was thinking like
Fried tastes better.
I like that I didn't have to clarify either what it was.
Even fried vegetables are better.
Literally anything deep fried in oil is better.
I don't know about that.
Pretty close.
The better, I think.
Let's see.
all right, so would you rather, if you were reborn in a new life, would you rather be alive in the past or the future?
The future.
Future.
See, the past, I would know what to do though.
I don't know. The past is kind of like the past of my life, or like 1940s past, because that was pretty racist.
Yeah, we wouldn't survive like 1940.
I'm just saying, like, I'd really rather live in the future.
I don't know.
I don't know. It does depend
It
how
does
far.
really depend.
Because
Oh, what if you like?
yeah.
Global climate change. Sorry.
What if you like changed the world and then you were in a history book?
Yeah, see, that's
Yeah,
what
that's
I
what
was
I
thinking. Also, for the girls who are good at makeup, I'm just saying, you could totally go undercover for things.
Wow.
Girl, makeup doesn't
I don't know
change
about
your
that.
skin tone.
Low-key though, if you really tried,
I mean,
like,
you would literally have to paint your whole body, Nina.
Have you ever seen Cloud Atlas?
Yeah. Also, wait. They didn't say that this has to be like in America.
Well, I mean, but where's like?
Where would you go?
Yeah.
The Philippines is English.
Would you go to Korea?
go to.
A lot of Tagish and Philippines.
Dang, I don't learn how to speak Tagalog fluently.
And I thought we're being reborn anyway, so what if we don't learn English then?
Oh boy.
Question is very loaded.
Let's see.
Okay, would you rather have free Wi-Fi wherever you go or have free coffee whenever you want?
Wi-Fi.
Coffee, hands down, 100%.
Coffee's expensive.
Coffee.
Yeah.
Wi-Fi is
Wi-Fi for me because I don't drink coffee.
Yeah,
I would say Wi-Fi because I drink more tea now.
Okay, so
Good for you. I love tea. Yeah, Maddie.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Would you rather rule the world or live in a world with absolutely no problems at all?
No problem.
Rule
the world.
Rule the world.
Wait, Nicole, where did you get that boba?
Matthew just brought me boba. That's how you knock on my door. Boba.
I just had some too. It hurt my stomach.
Oh, God.
Well, I ordered a large, and I don't usually do that, so I don't really know. I mean, I don't know why I ordered a large this time.
I'm really feeling some Wingstop. Wink, wink.
Hey.
Hey, yeah, remember when you guys were supposed to get us some Wingstop?
Commemorate this romance.
Hey, you guys are the one with wings, all right?
Get it delivered to my house.
Did you guys see the new Avengers yet?
No.
Don't ruin it.
Spoilers.
Guys, I mean, I wasn't gonna spoil it, but you guys need to watch it.
Like ASAP.
Wait,
It was very
how about we
emotional.
play? Oh my God, Virgil just messaged me. Sorry, Virgil, I'm putting you on blast. Virgil just messaged me saying, "You're such a mood, LMAO, eating pizza during elections." Shout out to my little sister. She goes to Loyola. She bought me pizza. Okay, wait. Let's play which Avenger we would be.
Hulk.
Yeah, you would be the Hulk. You would be the Hulk.
Trying to get back in here.
Hey, Raffy, where you at? Raffy, look.
Oh, look.
Cute. Okay, let's look.
Context. Raffy got Nicole that for Christmas.
Oh, yeah. And Nicole cried very much.
Nicole cried.
Okay, yeah. Nicole would be the Hulk.
You're right.
Nicole would be the Hulk.
I feel like Kayla would be Natasha because she's silent but deadly.
I was gonna pick Natasha anyway because she's a badass.
What Avenger you would be?
Yeah.
Oh. I don't know.
Raffy, you'd be Spider-Man.
I'd be who?
Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, you would be Spider-Man. You are Peter Parker. Oh my goodness.
I don't disagree.
You're like good at doing what you do. Yeah.
Huh?
You're like the mood setter. The mood setter.
I feel like Marlo would be like Tony Stark.
Maybe.
Maybe.
I could see like technology-wise.
I
but
could see that.
I want to be Moana.
What the? Avenger.
The newest Avenger.
I want to be Gamora, but I don't think I'm Gamora. I'm too emotional to be Gamora.
She's emotional.
Yeah, Gamora's emotional.
I want to be Wanda, the Scarlet Witch.
So,
I'd be the Black Panther.
Oh, I love Black Panther.
I love Black Panther.
Guys, I still haven't seen Black Panther.
I think,
So handsome.
I think you would like it if you watched it.
Right now.
That's why you're emotionally attached. I am
Okay. Wakanda, externals forever. Wakanda forever.
Oh, I love Black Panther.
Soundtrack is a bop.
Which Winnie the Pooh character would you be?
Piglet.
My favorite
Wait,
is Zorb.
I feel like I'm all of them.
You'd be Tigger.
You'd be Tigger, Rafi. Oh, Jessica's here.
Oh, Jessica.
Hello.
Hello.
Wait,
Hello,
Rafi
Jessica.
left.
What's up, Nina?
Rafi left. Sorry, that's Marlo. It's bacon. Don't look at me like that.
Yes, dinner during board elections.
I was just wondering what it was.
But no, I was just saying Rafi left. So if anybody,
We need Rafi back.
What the heck?
It's a long night.
All right, but welcome, Jessica. Welcome to the 2018-2019 Mafa Board elections, round one. So you'll be running for the outreach position, obviously. And again, just to reiterate, yay!
Oh, okay.
Just to reiterate, you have 5 minutes for your speech and then another 5 minutes for your Q&A. If you just look at below, Emily Valentine will be having the minute marks, the 2 minute, the 1 minute, and the 30 second. So just keep a lookout for that. And then afterwards, Maddie and Rafi will be asking you questions. You can begin whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hello, Mafa Board and the rest of the Mafa Sphere. My name is Jessica Cruz. I'm an incoming senior in the College of Nursing at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. I'm also one of the co-founders of the Filipino Student Union, commonly known as FSU, and in the past school year, I held the position of public relations and also acted as the Mafa rep. Today, I'm running for the position of co-outreach. When I had attended my first VAC in 2016, I didn't really know what to expect, nor did I think it would have such a heavy impact in my life. I've always been proud of my Filipino culture, but coming from a predominantly Caucasian city, it was always hard for me to find a place in which I felt at home. Attending that one Mafa event and being approached by one of the current co-outreach chairs at the time, Nina, not only inspired my friends and I to make an organization, but also motivated me to be sitting here in front of you all today. As Mafa rep, I was able to make connections with people from all over different universities, and I became the bridge between Mafa board and my school. Working as PR, I was in charge of recruitment of new and old members, updating general body members about events, and being the main source for external information. These positions have not only taught me to embrace my culture, but I've learned to be vulnerable. The past 2 years, I've interned under the position of co-outreach and vice president external. The tasks I was given both years helped me grow as a leader immensely. This year specifically, I took up the position to facilitate the Food for Hungry Minds videos that were posted last month daily on the Mafa members page. This experience not only gave me the opportunity to step out of my comfort zone, but it pushed me to work with people I've never met before, and I feel this is very important, specifically as the position of co-outreach. Coming from a fairly new organization, I can understand the awkwardness of many when it comes to attending Mafa events, speaking to other schools, and staying engaged in something as large as Mafa. I'm well aware that aside from president, co-outreach acts as the face of Mafa, and I believe success with that all begins from being personable. For the Mafa reps, I plan to continue the group meets, monthly meetings, and Mafa reps Facebook page that exists to relay information to each rep. But I also use it as a way for all of them to learn about each other as individuals and not just someone they take crossed arms photos with. I also would like to attend at least one executive board meeting from each individual Mafa school to not just make a connection with their Mafa rep, but to also learn about their executive boards as a whole. I also want to understand the dynamics of each school and hopefully get why some schools may be more active than others. I'd also like to implement the idea of School of the Week in order to give schools exposure to the rest of Mafa and use it as a way for their organizations to promote future events, learn about how they spread culture awareness, and inspire other schools to join this umbrella org. During the past school year, I'd also acted as a co-family head with my good friend Keiichi. An idea that was given to me by another friend of mine was to implement active and non-active Ma families. I understand that life gets busy, school gets hard, and being in a Ma family is not everyone's top priority. When the new wave of Mafa members are filling out surveys to be placed, I'd also be releasing a form for current family members to take to determine whether or not they want to be considered active or inactive. This will determine how many people will get placed where, and hopefully make it more of a fun experience for new members, instead of being very discouraged when sending a message and seeing that 20 people read it but no one responded. Ma families are a very big part of being co-outreach, and I want it to be a good experience for those who are placed in one. Adding on to that, I'd like for members of Ma families to all post a little blurb about themselves for my co-chair and I to send with the roster when Ma families get released. A lot of people are unsure why they get placed where they do, and I feel that if new members are able to read something beforehand, that can spark up conversation when they meet their Ma families. I know that being co-outreach also entails having to deal with the philanthropy, and I had one idea really call out to me. From experience growing up Filipino American, the mental health stigma is an actual problem. I was raised in a way that almost made me feel like mental illness isn't real, that we can just magically make a symptom disappear, and that is something I'd like to change. I'd like to reach out to organizations such as the Philippine Mental Health Association, which is based in Quezon City, and see where that leads us in advocating for mental health. This is something I know my organization can relate to personally, especially with recent events, but I feel many around the Midwest could use as well. I see being on Mafa board as the perfect time to test my adaptive and collaborative thinking. Not only is this board consisting of 9 people spread all over the Midwest, but these 9 people all come in with different plans, ideas, and personalities. But within those thoughts running through everyone's minds, all their goals are focused around this Filipino-American community. I believe that if I'm given the opportunity to work with the co, we can utilize each other's ideas to not just get Mafa members involved with one another, but hopefully emphasize the Mafa board is meant to be inclusive. As co-outreach, it is part of our duties to really focus on communication, and at the end of the day, people are only going to be as active as they please to be. But just like how I mentioned earlier, it only took one person to influence me to step out and do something for this community. And my ultimate personal goal is to be that influential person for someone else out there. Thank you.
Yay! Thank you, Jessica. Awesome job in your speech. So again, we're going to move on to the Q&A, and Maddie and Rafi are going to take it away with those questions. And Emily Valentine's going to have the minute mark.
Cool. Hi, Jessica. Great job on your speech. So Rafi and I just have a few questions for you. Excuse me. So our first question is, you mentioned active and non-active family chats in your speech and your application. Some members in the Mafosphere have expressed different preferences for communication with their Maf families. So some people prefer that they only talk like once a month versus like very active families who talk every day. How would someone who is in the non-active chat who's someone who starts in the non-active chat be able to join the active chat, or someone who kind of wants to turn it off be able to leave the active chat, like that sort of thing? How would that logistically work?
Well, so the reason I wanted to implement the active and non-active family chats was because, like, as I mentioned, there's different personalities in each family, regardless of how they got placed into their family. So I think, regardless of where you begin, if you can form a communication or like a bond within those people in your active chat or within those non-active chats, you're able to reach out to one another in order to help one another. So if someone, per se, someone in a non-active chat would like to become active, I would make sure that the Mafa heads that are chosen for this term are able to be approachable, personable, and someone that they're comfortable with saying like, hey, like, I'd like to reach out to you guys. Like, could I like swap for like a little bit? And if they're uncomfortable, the reason there are two chats are just so they don't get spammed or things like that. Because I do know of like families that have their family chats like on mute, or like people who leave their chat. And that's just really discouraging, especially for new members who come in like wanting to like jump in and like be in such like a huge community but are scared to do so. So yeah.
Thank you, Jessica. I want to say good job on your speech as well. You did great. So our next question for you is just a little bit to kind of preface the question. Outreach, as you know, is a special position because you do get to have a co, but you don't get to choose your co. So going into this, assuming you would be elected, how would you go about planning, or how would you plan on having you and your co hold each other accountable for certain tasks?
I think I got really lucky with this past school year because I did act as a co-family head with Keiichi, and at the time, I'll be honest, I never really talked to him. But the moment that the co-heads were released, I found myself reaching out to him right away, and we instantly clicked. And I know that's not going to work out for if I do get the position, no matter who it is. Like, we may become best friends, we may just become board members to each other. But I think being able to communicate with one another, expressing each other's ideas, and understanding each other's like motives on like why we both ran for co-outreach. We're all here because we have this like passion for this Filipino American community, and being able to spread that to everyone else around us. And I think working with a co is more beneficial than anything else because they become someone you rely on times when things do get busy. And it's not like you're putting the work on them, but it's more so you guys find the balance in one another in order to help one another in situations such as those.
Thank you.
I don't know if Mafa has any questions, but if not, we have more questions. No? Okay.
So Sammy and Marlo, they lost Wi-Fi on that side. So
Yeah,
you go
sorry.
ahead.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. But I'll just go ahead. Okay. So you did mention this in your speech, but outreach is one of the biggest faces on Mafa board. How do you want the Mafosphere to view you as an outreach chair?
Again, I think I got lucky with my experience as a Mafa rep for my school. When I attend Mafa events, I want to be as personable as possible. I want to be someone that people are comfortable with talking to, which I think you and Rafi did a very well job. You guys were very approachable. You didn't help like you didn't just help each individual school, but you helped us all like gain relationships with one another as reps. And I think that's something that I'd like to continue as well, because when you're a Mafa rep, you're not just dealing with your school, your e-board, you're dealing with every other school in the Mafa sphere. And I think when I would like people to view me as someone that they can approach and someone that they can trust in issues. So whether it be personal, or whether it be like related to Mafa, I'd like to be able to be someone like, oh, it's Jessica. Like, she's nice, she's easy to talk to, and just someone that, I don't know, I just want people to be comfortable around me because I'm someone who's very comfortable around people. Like, no matter, like, it could be the first time I'm meeting you, but I will be comfortable with you. And I just want people to have that equal feeling.
I had a question. Kind of going off of being like personal. So I think you understand that there are other UWM FSU members that are also running for Mafa board. So say all three of you do end up being on Mafa board, how would you three establish that relationship between being personal and being professional? So where does the boundary between those two?
I believe this was something that I mentioned briefly, but when we created FSU, we all, of course, started as friends. But I believe Francis, Heather, and we all have this mindset of having this goal of being inclusive and being a community in which people can approach. So, like, say some people may think that we become cliquey, but I feel like our advantage as friends is that we know each other's strengths and weaknesses. So being with one another in a group, but also being with other people, I feel that can only all help us grow and not just learn more from one another, but also from the other people we do get hopefully placed with. So I do understand if people feel like uncomfortable with having so many people from one school together, but I do also believe that we're able to differentiate personal life from professional life, and being on a Mafa board may be a good way to test all of that as well.
All right, I think we have time for one more question.
No, we're out of time.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right, we are out of time. But thank you so much, Jessica, for both your speech and the Q&A. Thank you for taking the time to run tonight. We understand school and life in general, but again, thank you and have a good night. You'll find out what the results within a week.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks, Jessica.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jess.
So last night, Marlo broke his glasses for dancing too hard, doing the, what is that called?
The master.
Yeah. He is currently trying to super glue his glasses.
That dance is called the shoot dance, I learned. Yeah, or something like that.
Maddie said it like, that's what the kids call it these days.
Yeah, I know. I know.
So
I know. I'm turning into a tita.
Tita.
Okay.
The cool tita.
Who's up next?
Oh, I think we're taking a break now.
Oh, nice.
So actually, Mafasphere, we were supposed to have Sandy Amarato as a co-outreach chair running as well, but she is studying abroad in Spain, right, Nina? Or is it Spain?
She's Madrid.
España. She's abroad. She's global.
She's cultured.
It's currently around like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. over there. So she will not be running for this round. She'll be running in the second round of elections. Be on the lookout for her. The elections for that will be in 2 weeks-ish. It'll be, hopefully, the new board will be facilitating that. We shall see. Exciting things coming our way. But since she will not be running at 8:40, correct? Was that? Yeah, 8:40 p.m. CST. We will be having a break until Media Master Francis from UWM FSU. He will be at 9 p.m. So we can either stay online or we can kind of just.
Nicole's gonna do a magic trick and come to and then Kayla's apartment.
Okay.
Wow.
Can I see it?
Right, so 1 minute, Nicole. Ready? 1, 2, 3, go.
Wait, low-key, hold on. If she makes it to my 35, I will be so shocked.
She's running, I swear to God. She's
gonna make it, I think she's gonna make it.
She lives 2 floors above us. I'm gonna
She'll run down the stairs. It's fine.
Years, dude.
She actually left. Magic trick.
I should lock our door just to be funny.
Until the 1 minute mark is done.
Wait.
Turns 8:35.
Oh, I can hear her. There she is.
Wow. Congratulations, Nicole.
Surprise!
Yeah, what a great magic trick.
But she actually made it.
Before 8:35.
Your laptop is still on.
She's like, your laptop is still on. It's still on.
You could have just left it.
That's okay. Okay. At least it's on me. Hang on, I have your thing. How's pizza? Yeah, that's this entire time. Show and tell. We're doing an unboxing.
We're doing an unboxing.
So my sister, she works at Uniqlo downtown, and she got us. Dude, she put it in a box.
It's a box. Wow.
So we're gonna unbox it. We already know what we got because we told her what to buy because she has a 30% discount, and then we just pay her back.
How cute. I love the box. Wait, yeah, what the fuck?
So if y'all, you already know the drill. Just tell me.
Watch your French.
She takes it.
What the heck, Nicole?
Huh?
What the heck?
Oh, I got t-shirts.
I got t-shirts.
Nicole and I got the same
We got the
t-shirts.
same t-shirt.
Which one?
It's the draped crew neck t-shirts from Uniqlo.
They just had a Shonen Jump drop, by the
We
way.
all got t-shirts.
I got real t-shirts,
Yeah.
like Marvel. Oh, it's that. No, it's not backwards. It's Marvel.
We saw the Avengers together.
Yeah.
So.
And Snoopy, guys. I'm like seriously obsessed with Snoopy because I own 3 beagles.
I love their shirts. They're so soft.
I got the same shirt in 3 colors.
Practical.
Regular t-shirt.
Okay, everyone, time them 1 minute to try to try on all your clothes. Ready? 1.
Stop it.
Find the camera and change.
Oh my god. This is turning into Mafa board dares.
I'm ready to time it. How many times? In 1 minute? They get 1 minute?
1 minute.
What?
You ready to change in your t-shirt and then runway it for us? Ready? 3, 2, 1.
What? I missed all of that.
You want us to change in 3, 2, 1.
Turn the camera if you want.
No, man.
I should do the t-shirt all over there.
Yeah, body positivity.
45 seconds.
Yeah. Oh, it went back into the box.
Did you guys follow Uniqlo drops though? I follow them so closely.
Sponsors Mafa board.
I seriously follow their drops. They had a line of ramen shirts.
They did.
I bought one.
They have a lot of Disney shirts right now.
Yeah, shirts. And then they just did a Shonen Jump 50th anniversary, or was it 50th?
Yeah. They have a lot of nice shirts. I have a Andy Warhol Campbell Soup shirt from them.
I want that. Wait, I want the striped one.
Give me a cap.
Okay, we're gonna do show and tell for our caps. This is mine. It's very pretty.
Show what you can.
What does it say?
Control what you can.
It's from Confront What You Can't. It's from my favorite band. They're called The Main. It's from the song Unlost. Highly recommend. And then here's Katie.
Extra. Look at this.
She drew that.
Oh, ooh.
Amazing.
She whined a lot, but
But
she
I
did
did
it.
I did drink a lot of wine, and I did wine, like actually wine.
This is true. I was there to witness some of it. And Nicole's is not here.
Mine's is upstairs, but Kevin did mine.
Yeah.
Oh, I saw it.
Yeah, a minute 30 seconds to run all the way upstairs, grab your cap, and then come.
Wait, how many seconds?
90.
90? Okay. Okay.
Wait, I'm ready.
Wait, are we who's talking?
What tiny.
Set,
Doing
Did you?
We're gonna
Nicole on the
We're gonna
Nicole's the main screen.
Nicole's screen when she gets there.
I wrote on the board. You know that yellow paper that's on her board? I wrote on it.
I love you, Mom.
Why is all I can read? I can read I love you, Mom.
Yeah.
dude, is it in her room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
She lives on the 9th floor. We live on the 7th floor.
I love Emily Brielle's It's Sailor Moon.
Oh, that was
I was
Oh
going
my god, it's so pretty. It's very Emily.
Oh.
And
Oh, another 60 seconds. One.
where's your grad cap?
Yeah.
Oh,
Grad cap.
She wanted to just show she can run.
You graduated in 3 days. There she is.
oh, I thought you were gonna run back downstairs, but okay.
It's upside down. There it is.
Dad, future.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's so cute.
Kevin did it for her.
sadly, I have a paper to finish.
Oh,
No, Rafi.
I wish I could stay and listen to all the speeches, but just good luck to everyone else who's running, or to everyone who has spoken earlier today.
Okay.
Have fun.
Go study. Go study. Bye, Cole.
Finals to everyone who haven't taken them or is taking them.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Rafi, listen to all the superlatives later because a
That
lot
we
of them
gave you.
are you.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Love you.
Can or cannot confirm that they're good or not. So.
Oh, no.
Bye. Have fun writing your paper.
Bye, Rafi.
Bye.
If anyone's wondering, this is exactly what all of our meetings are like.
Yeah.
Is Nicole still the main screen?
Yeah.
Oh shoot! How do I undo it?
No,
and
Maddie
she's-
has to undo it.
No, I don't. It's because she's. Do you see the arrow?
Oh.
Sorry.
There we
go.
go.
Oh.
We wanted to show right when Nicole got there.
Oh, thanks, Sammy.
This is Marlo. I didn't really care.
If anyone's moving to Chicago, Mafa Sphere, not Sphere, and would like to buy a desk, I'm selling one.
If anyone in the Mafa is looking for a place to live over the summer, let me know.
Just June and July, though.
Just June and July.
Cool. You'll save so much more money by living in the city. You work at Northwestern.
I've been told that Sammy and Marlo are the main screen on the YouTube.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube. Now we're all pizza.
Never mind. It is changed back. False alarm. Goodbye.
What? Hopefully we posted this on all of the Mafa school pages.
Hopefully someone can
No, the main is Maddie. Oh, it's so cute.
What?
The thumbnail is Maddie's face.
Oh.
You look so happy.
Oh, well, I'm glad. You guys make me happy. Guys, I met Brian Guerrero's puppy today.
So cute. Hold on.
Your face is so cute on here.
Look, it's the 8th Dojikage. Look at him, so cute. He's a little cutie. I love him.
Oh baby.
Little baby, he's so tiny.
Oh baby. I'm sweating.
You're always sweating.
Yep, you're right.
Guys, I bought more of those underarm wipes, the ones that smell like coconut from Transitions.
Ah. That's funny. Does anyone has watched the Digimon?
Yes.
Yeah, I watched it. I haven't watched it recently, but
Last
yeah.
Digimon?
The last Digimon Try just came out for anyone. That's
Wait, really?
You know, the last Digimon Try movie. They're making a sequel apparently. But I'm an IT major, so my cap's gonna say time to save the digital world, and then on digital it's gonna be like IT because it.
That's a good one.
Right, Sammy.
Dare you?
Yeah.
Also, for the Mafa, the relationship between Sammy and I is very
Loving.
Good morning, Nicole.
Good
This is why I
morning,
said she
Nicole.
would leave and never come back for a while.
it's a lot of Mafa board versus Nicole.
No, it isn't.
Mafa board versus
Mustard yellow. I expected Marlo to be on my side.
It's a lot of Mafa board versus Nicole.
It is a lot of Mafa board versus Nicole.
It's not a lot of Mafa board versus Nicole. It is 8:45.
Who is one person that we pick on the most though?
Emily Valentine. Sorry, Emily.
Yeah.
Emily
or Rafi?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Rafi a lot though.
So it's the junior.
I pick on Rafi a lot because she's my coach.
Nina isn't technically a junior. She's in a 5-year MBA program.
My name is Nina Cedro.
I'm in a 5-year MBA program at Wayne State University, and I work at Tesla.
No, honestly, when I was at Emily Brielle's grad party today, somebody asked me one of her family members asked what I was studying, and then Emily Brielle for me.
Her name is Nina Cedra. She's in a 5-year MBA program.
With junior standing. Senior standing? Junior standing? I don't know.
Junior with senior standing.
Junior with senior standing.
You know, I had to listen to that a lot because I edited the Mafa board introduction video. So that's really why I know it.
I feel like I should have taken a nap in these 10 minutes. So.
Oh my god, I really wish I took a nap today.
Our finals met with Sammy, Emily. Nina, are you done?
The paper right before this.
Nina's done.
Paper.
I haven't done anything.
It's the shortest paper that I've written this week.
Nice.
Pretty nice.
It'll happen.
Yeah, I have 2 finals, and I don't really count one of them because it's a film class. Just show up to watch.
Oh, I have a would you rather.
Oh, okay.
Would you rather have unlimited sushi for life or unlimited tacos for life?
Sushi.
Sushi is so much more expensive.
Exactly.
Kayla says tacos.
Sushi. It depends on what kind of tacos, and it depends on what kind of sushi.
The best kind of sushi and the best kind of tacos. Like the best sushi and the best tacos you could think of.
I would still say tacos because I right now have unlimited sushi and it's after a while. For context, I work at a Japanese fusion restaurant, so that's why.
I would also say sushi, but I love tacos.
I love tacos.
I would say tacos.
From Two Amigos
are so good.
She's hearing college.
Yeah, she's doing dishes in the kitchen.
Would you rather end hunger or end your hunger?
Wait, what?
That doesn't make sense. Oh, yeah.
So basically be selfish or...
Would you rather end hunger or end your own hunger?
End hunger.
End hunger.
Can I still enjoy the pleasure of food, though? That's a real question.
Oh, I have one. Would you rather get one free round-trip international plane ticket every year or be able to fly domestic anytime for free?
Oh.
I would say international, but that's just me.
Domestic for free.
Kayla says domestic, but she also does not have her passport.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't do domestic still, though.
The domestic here in the U.S. is very expensive in comparison, like domestically, if you're in Europe.
Very true, because Nicole, Kayla, and I were trying to plan a trip, and we couldn't. We had to settle for something cheaper. And we don't even know if we're going.
We literally can only do weekend trips. Like what?
Okay. Would you rather have no one show up to your wedding or your funeral?
Oh, my funeral.
My funeral.
I'm dead.
I guess.
I'd rather be alive and enjoy your company.
True. Yeah. I feel like I would be more hurt if you guys didn't show up to my wedding than to my funeral.
I guess it depends also because if my wedding ends up being like somewhere in like the middle, like some weird destination wedding, I wouldn't expect you to pay and come all the way. You know?
I feel like that's why I wouldn't have a destination wedding, just because I want as many people to come as possible.
Yeah, my dad said he won't come to my wedding if it's a destination wedding.
Yeah, I don't flow with destination weddings.
I didn't have like a cotillion or a debut, so I want.
Neither did I.
I want a huge ass.
Freaking debutantzilla right here. I was freaking crying. Ugh.
Oh my god, Nicole's debut videos are so funny to watch.
I literally look like a bride.
He does. He danced to Can I Have This Dance from High School Musical 3.
I know, basic.
Which Kayla watched kind of for the first time.
Favorite song from High School Musical 3.
Yeah. Can I Have This Dance? It's freaking. Yeah.
My favorite song.
There's a bottle cap in our sink.
There was? Did you leave a bottle cap in our sink, Nicole?
No, I threw both of them away when I popped the freaking bits.
Well, there was one in the sink.
I'm still trying to see it.
Oh my god. I feel like I gave you a power that you should need. What's everyone's favorite High School Musical movie?
The second one.
Second. I've only watched the first two.
Third. I love the third.
I love the third. Yeah, third and first.
Like, I feel like the first is just a classic.
The second one's the best one.
The second one had a really good soundtrack, but I didn't like the plot.
I didn't like the plot in the second one at all.
Gotta Go My Own Way is one of my
I love that song. That was in our senior year.
Oh my god, Nicole, baby Nicole!
Don't I look like a bride?
Dang.
Wow.
Wow. I would have expected Nicole to be a debut, like a debut Godzilla.
Yeah, then well.
I have a question. If I make blow up face like pictures of your face and bring it to graduation, would you be embarrassed?
No.
No.
Really?
I would actually
really enjoy it.
I would actually really appreciate it.
Yeah. We always joke about doing that, but we never do it.
I feel like this isn't hot enough.
Nicole, is that your roommates? Okay. I was wondering.
I'm looking at Nicole's old Facebook albums.
Hashtag 30-day
Share your screen.
Sammy. Do we? Stop it.
Farm town photo.
Farm Town. Wasn't it Farm Village?
They had both.
Oh, there's both.
We should share baby pictures.
Baby pictures?
Yeah.
Or prom pictures? It's prom season.
Oh, okay. I can show prom pictures.
No, I'm triggered.
I loved my prom picture senior year though, so I'm relaxed.
Oh, Nicole, you did the 30-day challenge.
Yes, Sammy. Thank you, Sammy.
Oh, 30
I was literally just trying to find your cotillion.
My debut. It's the album is my 18th birthday debut.
Birthday debut.
Debut.
Did anyone watch the debut?
Yes. But Dante Bosco.
Let's go.
Watch the movie Bride for Rent. No, what's that? CM Lim and Kim Chu. Oh.
Oh yes.
I cried.
I love Kim Chu.
What else is in?
Kim Chu was. I loved her in My Girl with her and Gerald Anderson when they were.
Are we doing prom pictures?
Prom
I have
picture?
mine. Yeah, I have mine.
Where's my debut picture?
Okay. Here's my prom picture.
Literally.
Wow.
Are we getting prom pictures?
Oh, we're getting prom pictures.
Prom picture, everybody. Wow. It's okay. I didn't like prom my senior year. That was my senior year dress.
I loved senior year prom.
Pram.
Wow.
Oh,
Yeah,
baby.
it's like really.
Oh, your hair is so long.
No.
Wow, Kayla and Andrew, wow.
Oh my gosh. I'm trying to find mine.
Oh gosh.
Oh, prom.
Dang.
My dress is way too big for me. But I still bought it.
Just a minute ago.
Looks like a minute.
As numbers, I like it.
I like the top and like the bottom. It's very, very bloated that day.
Oh. Mine had a fountain in the bag.
Wow.
Ooh.
Shout out to MJ from Philsoc. Was good.
I see. Yeah.
Dang, Sammy.
Cute.
Is that in front of your house, Sammy?
Yeah, I have so much plants. And look at my mom.
Wow.
Look at
Are you a
you.
mermaid?
The dress was way too long for me, so I wear like super, super high heels.
I wonder if it feels like you're found yourself. So. Oh, there's. I don't think you can really
Here, I
see
got
it.
you.
Oh, you got. Thank you.
Because it only like shows when this is Emily.
Wow, Emily.
Like,
I like the flower, Emily.
yeah. I didn't want. Ooh, Marla. Okay, classic.
Oh, oh shoot, it's already 8:55. It's fine. I got it. Don't worry.
We did it. Great job, everyone.
Good job. That was great. Great intermission.
11 viewers
Great break.
For the past like 30 minutes
you
of
stayed with us?
nonsense. Yeah, thank
so
you.
nice.
Hopefully people start coming back. But yes, just to remind everyone, our next candidate is Francis from UWM-FSU, and he is running for the position of Media Master. Yay, Francis. But I'm also going to mention Virgil because he texted me and he's just like, I love how you go, Nicole, watch your French, because she went, what the? And when you go, I want a huge ass wedding. Yeah, I just swore again, but it's okay. I'm sorry.
Okay, he see my message. Yay.
Sunday night. I don't have to go to work tomorrow because I had my last day last Friday.
Lucky.
I have work tomorrow.
I have work.
The team took me out to Cheesecake Factory.
Ooh.
Yeah, cheesecake.
Which one did you get this time?
I got the Oreo one again.
Again?
It was really good. I know, I love vanilla beans. I got that two times ago.
You're having all the food things I want. You had poke.
I had no poke.
How often do you go to Cheesecake Factory? I haven't been to Cheesecake Factory in so long.
Cheesecake Factory is every type of food. I thought I used to be Italian.
I think it actually was the second time I ever had it starting this year.
You know, like the bread that they have at Cheesecake, they're like going to sell that at, I think it's like Whole Foods or something.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I forget where. But they're brown bread.
Yeah.
One kid.
I'm so sleepy.
Yeah. Nicole, it's not that late.
It's not even 9 yet, Nicole.
How do you have to wake up?
6.
Oh, you're fine.
No, I wake up at 5
As ever.
Yeah, Kayla wakes up earlier than you.
and go to bed later than you.
Dude, sometimes I don't even sleep. Like, you'll be fine.
Nina.
Nina said so. Yes.
Okay, but let's all remember Nicole is more fit than us.
Thanks, Emily. Not anymore.
Because she has the fitness plans.
Nicole.
What'd you say?
I'm trying to support the evil.
Sammy, what'd you say?
I said don't support you.
Oh.
Oh, don't.
Thanks, Emily.
Good morning, Nicole.
Yeah, that's a thing that we all do. We all say good morning, Nicole.
And it's traumatizing.
Hi, Francis.
Hi, Francis.
Hello, Francis.
Hello.
Hello.
Wow. Voice is cracking. Can you hear us okay?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. How about you? Are you guys able to hear me?
Yes, we can. Yay. All right, so welcome to the 2018-2019 Mafa Board election. You'll be running for the media master position, as you know. But just to reiterate that you have 5 minutes for your speech and then another 5 minutes for the Q&A. And then Marla will be asking you the follow-up questions as well as any other Mafa members that send us questions as Q&A goes on. And Emily Valentine will be having the minute marks, the 2 minute, the 1 minute, and the 30-second as you are going on with your speech as well as the Q&A. So you can begin whenever you're ready, and Emily will start the time.
All right. Let's see. Hello, Mafa. My name is Francis Redinger, and I will be going into my final year here at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, majoring in film and content media studies with an international business minor. I am also co-founder and current president of Filipino Student Union here at my university, and today I am running for Mafa's media master position. During my term as president, I handled all presidential duties that were required to run the organization alongside my executive board. I am able to work in a team, and I am very reliable when it comes to completing my duties and tasks at hand. I am also very social media adept and handled all types of media formats that our organization needed. I took charge of our historian duties, created our Facebook pages. I also created our logo and assisted with the graphics and running our various social media platforms. While doing this, I was also a very valuable team member with assisting each position in their duties as well. I believe that my past experience on eBoard for FSU will transition smoothly if elected as Mafa Board's Media Master. Not only have I been involved with my PSA here at my school, I took part of the Mafa's intern program for the past 2 years, interning under the president and media master positions. Through this, I definitely learned and grew stronger as a leader and a team member. I believe that Mafa has a great interconnected network among everyone within the Mafa sphere through its social media. One of my goals, however, is to give Mafa an even stronger online presence. With my experience with content media, I hope to produce more media content on all different platforms. If elected, I plan to follow up with the current media master, Marlo, and his plans on having a more centralized place for affiliated Mafa schools through our We Are Mafa website. I plan to keep that website updated and maintained, as well as relaying latest news about the Philippines. I also hope to work with him to fully execute Mafa shops during the transition period. I want to also create more content on the Mafa YouTube channel, as YouTube is a very popular media platform. Bringing back Mafa on the Mind vlogs, as well as getting other schools involved with watching Mafa content, this can help build our YouTube channel and eventually raise revenues for future Mafa events. I'm also hoping to implement a Mafa Hall of Fame on the We Are Mafa page as well. This will recognize achievements and create a list of all past current board members of that year. I believe having this is important because it connects the past with the present. Alongside our alumni, knowing who the past Mafa board was can be very inspiring to future leaders of our community. I also want to grow our other current social media platforms, such as our Instagram, Facebook, and Snapchat through a variety of marketing social media tactics. To do so, planning social media campaigns alongside the executive board will help grow our social media and bring more cultural awareness to the Mafa sphere. This will also include utilizing the official Mafa public life page even more. Umbrella organizations such as UVSA and MASU all have their own public pages that have hundreds of followers and likes. I believe Mafa can achieve the same recognition. Currently, we are using the We Are Mafa Facebook user account to relay information to the members page. I believe using the like page more will promote a more professional standpoint, as Facebook drastically improved the use of public pages in the past few years. I will connect the public like page to the already successful Mafa members page when implementing this idea. I have used this media tactic successfully with the creation of the Filipino Student Unions, as well as UWM's Asian Student Unions Facebook public pages. In just 1 year of being on both executive boards, I have raised 300 likes and follows. I believe I can do the same for Mafa on a much bigger scale. Aside from filling the media master position on Mafa board, One of my biggest motivations for running today is to have a chance to be even more involved in our community on a bigger scale. I want to be directly part of the influence that newly elected board will facilitate for next year to further bring cultural awareness and empowerment to the Midwest. I hope that my vision to enhance Mafa's online presence will keep promoting identity and the idea of what it means to be inclusive in this Philippine X community. I was very inspired by Mafa, and I hope to do the same to the community as Mafa has done to me. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for your speech. Next, we'll be moving on towards the 5-minute Q&A, and Marlo, the current media master, will be starting off with questions.
All right.
All right. So my first question for you is, could you please describe what the board dynamic has been for FSU this past year, and just like where you have fit in with your board?
The board dynamic. So this year's board dynamic, I think, was going pretty good. We all had open communication with each other. It was kind of different since we weren't elected to our positions. We were mainly working together to fulfill and bring out a community here on the UWM campus. So I think our year as a first year org was pretty successful, and the dynamic of our e-board was to help for that.
All right, and so to follow up to that with that, you did mention that it has been pretty successful. But could you tell me about maybe one of the conflicts that you've had on FSU board, preferably like one that you had to deal with on like a first-person basis?
One conflict that I had with FSU, I believe, was sometimes lack of communication with scheduling. Sometimes there was open-ended, let's see, I'm sorry, one second. So a conflict that I think was with that scheduling. So sometimes, since we were elected, there was different scheduling. So then when it comes to like different board meetings and just the fact that this was a commuter school as well, it was kind of hard scheduling with everybody and catering to everyone's positions and areas of interest. So we did our best with trying to fulfill that. Yeah.
All right, and the last question that I have from you specifically from me is the Constitution does not specifically define the creation of media material such as PR by the media master. How much of this role do you, or this responsibility, do you intend to go after? I guess, like how much how much of the chunk of the responsibility do you intend to take? Yeah. So. Yeah.
So with the intention of creating content through our social media, I believe communication with our e-board definitely will have a factor with this. Depending on what Mafa does, it does say in the Constitution that the media master's role is to relay information as well of current events and so Mafa news. I will also work with the e-board on social media campaigns with that. So I think just balancing out with the different positions and roles and working as media master to have that online presence will definitely be help out to the board in general.
Emily and I have questions. I'll ask my question. So media master here collaborated with a lot of other positions, such as not necessarily in the Constitution, but Marla worked a lot with Maddie and Emily Brielle in terms of creating a lot of different PR material, creative content. So what is your experience with like working with other people on your board that's not necessarily under the Constitution? How do you approach that?
Again, the big thing about that is the communication that we have with board members, making sure that we stick within our duties and tasks, but not limited. So I think working together with creating content, like you said, with the current media master and other positions, just making sure communicating and being able to create and present Mafa's online presence will definitely go along with the newly elected board.
All right. We have one more question from Emily Valentine, and she'll be. Yeah.
So with the potential of you running and possibly being elected with then 2 other people from UWM, how do you think you'll balance being professional while also being friends, while also probably being one of the older members on e-board and going from president to media master?
Could you repeat the question? It was kind of bugging out.
Yeah, sorry. Basically, I'm just asking, how would you balance, I guess, all these different positions that you're coming from? So the fact that you might potentially have Jessica and Heather on board with you again and you still go to the same school, while also you're coming from a position of going from president and now you're running for the position of media master.
So I think with that, again, since there are 3 of us running for Mafa board, I believe that dynamic can also be utilized with knowing our relationship. So having a boundary of professionalism and our personal lives is also something that the newly elected board as us will definitely have to take into factor. So just making sure that we build each other up and making sure that we all stay on task and responsibility of what we have to do for the Mafa community is definitely something, again, that all of us have to work together, which I believe that we can do. And going from president to media master, again, the different positions are definitely have different roles and different duties, but me running for a media master, I believe that I can fulfill the duties of the position as well as being a valuable team member to the executive board as well.
All right, I think that is up with the time, correct? Mm-hmm. All right, thank you, Francis. Good job on your speech.
Thank you, guys.
Q&A. We will be coming back to you with the results within the week, so you'll be hearing from us soon.
All right, thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Thank you. Have a good night. Okay. All right, yay. We have 2 more candidates. Our next candidate will be Sarah Hidalgo from Marquette BSO, Marquette by Neon. That is my school. And she'll be running for the secretary position, and she'll be speaking at 9:20 p.m. CST. And then we're going to end the night with Rio from The Ohio State University. All right. Superlatives. Anyone have any? Or random questions? Very quiet. Is everyone really tired now? No. 1 ballot.
Oh, I have one. Best wing man, or I guess wing woman.
I'm pretty good at it.
I'm an awful wingman.
Best wingman or wingwoman?
I've never seen you actually do it though. You like always offer, and I'm like, nah, I'm good. I feel like we're all very independent.
I know, we're all very independent.
But she has potential. I agree.
done it a couple times.
You were your own wing woman. Marlo was your wingman.
Stop. I remember you asked me at the beginning of the year.
Oh yeah,
You need a wing woman? I'm like,
you
no.
need a wing woman?
I was like, no, I got it.
He did. He got you. Actually, you got it. No, you both got each other. What am I talking?
Cool. I'm currently making ballots for the voting. So for those of you viewing, these will be released soon at Mafa Reps / Mafa Presidents.
Who's most likely to get arrested?
Rafi.
Wow.
Dang.
I would say it depends on what.
Yeah, I think it depends on what.
I feel like if it was for like a public fight, it'd be Nicole.
Rafi's most likely to get into a fight.
So is Nicole.
No, Nicole just says she'll throw hands, but she won't actually throw hands.
Nicole literally punched someone, or not Nicole. Rafi literally punched someone in Toledo.
I think I'm more of just like most likely to cock block.
Yeah.
Me.
We have a Mafa. Did you wait? Are you Samlo? Are you guys on it? Because I'm about to expose the shit out of you guys. So a Mafa member would like to know, can I hear about the Samlo love story?
Oh.
It all started with Maddie's booze cruise.
This is true. At my 21st birthday booze cruise, you're welcome, you two.
The day after Maddie got like on the board from off the board.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was,
I would like you to name your first child after me. Thanks.
Okay, wasn't it a lot earlier that you're on Mafa board?
No.
Wait, what?
Maddie?
No, it was like the day after, wasn't it?
It was literally I don't know if it's the day after, but like the day my birthday, I remember my birthday was during the week. So like it was that weekend. So it was a few days after I was elected to be on Mafa board. It was after round 2. I remember that much.
Because I remember I got like the invite and then I'm like, should I go do this? And then like I waited a little and then the price increased to like $50 from like $35 or something. And I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna go.
TBH, I was like, I'm not really close to Marlo. I was like, I just know he's in Chicago and I need more people to come so I get a discount. So I invited Marlo.
I was actually really surprised I went.
Really, Maddie is the wing woman.
Yes.
Unintentionally, the wing woman.
You're welcome. Please name your firstborn after me. Thanks.
And it has to be Madeleine.
Yeah, it has to be my full name. Thanks.
She was a big instigator.
I was a supporter. I didn't instigate,
Emily
but
was supporting me the entire way.
I listened
She
to
knew
all those
I
questions.
was fangirling over him since the beginning. Like when we're muted on every like Mafa board meeting, I would like talk about Barley.
Oh my God, what?
It's so cool.
And I knew about all of this. I just never said anything.
Yeah.
Everyone look at Nicole's face.
I have pictures. I still have pictures.
Still
Nicole, stop touching your face.
Mark Samlo's story.
It all started with the booze cruise.
I didn't tell anyone.
Do you want to tell about how you told Mafa board that you guys were freaking dating pieces of crap? Freaking waking me up. Waking me up. I'm like crying.
Okay, well, I
Assigned. Number 1, assigned.
Okay, Emily already knew. Yes. Maddie knew. Nicole would have known if she wanted to meet up with us in Chicago when I was in Chicago at the time. And she decided that I can't go.
I'm hurt. Hurts in the puso. That's fine.
So the rest was divided by workshop. Wasn't it? Oh no, whoever was going to Masu, who was it?
Yeah, which ended up being the workshop.
Which ended up being like our workshop groups. Yeah.
Literally, Marlo texted us at like midnight saying, "Hey, are you guys up?" What the fuck? Why? What's wrong? What are you doing?
It was not midnight.
It was like 1 a.m.
No, it wasn't.
It was
my
like
parents.
Dude, it was 10 p.m. I don't
Yeah, it was like 10 p.m. because I FaceTimed everyone after he told you.
I did FaceTime you guys. Hold on.
She's looking for them.
Oh my gosh, she's actually going for the receipts.
Marlo, Sammy. Oop. Marlo, Rafi, Kala.
So aggressive.
Oh wait, look. Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
I can't see her.
Yeah, wait, I can't see her yet either.
Well, I got the notification that she's here, so she's
Oh,
here.
she left the group.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay, bye. There. Oh, wow, that picture.
Hello. Hey.
Oh, in a nutshell.
Stop it.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi, can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, we can. Welcome to the. Can you hear us?
Thank you. Oh yeah, I can hear you guys.
Awesome. Welcome to the 2018-2019 Mafa Executive Board election. Yay! And you're running for the secretary position. So just to reiterate that you have 5 minutes for your speech and then 5 minutes for Q&A afterwards. Emily Brielle was going to try to make it, but I'll be asking her questions in her place. She has her graduation party, so she won't be.
That's fine.
And then Emily Valentine is going to have the minute marks, the 2-minute mark, 1-minute mark, and the 30-second mark. So just keep an eye on that, just in case if you're speeding up or slowing down.
Okay.
But Emily will start the timer whenever you're ready.
All right. Hello, Mafa Board and Mafa community. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Sarah Hidalgo. Next year, I'm going to be a senior in the College of Nursing here at Marquette University. I will be running for the position of Mafa Secretary for the 2017-2018 school year. As past historian for the Bayanihan Student Organization, the position has allowed me to develop leadership skills and learn how to manage my time. I love being busy, and I know how to prioritize tasks and work efficiently. I learned to balance my historian responsibilities while working a job and studying for the nursing school. Some of these responsibilities included taking, editing, and posting photos from each BSO event, creating content for the Instagram and website, and conducting interviews with members for the monthly BSO Code videos. While my workload for senior year will be pretty intense because of nursing, Mafa is the only board that I'm running for at the moment, and I will be able to devote many hours a week to my board responsibilities. In addition to traditional historian duties, I was very fortunate enough to be on board during my sophomore year because it was the year we held MFAS at Marquette. So my job in particular was to lead an MFAS video invitation project. And our committee was small and it was difficult to get people to be able to film sometimes, but it was a really fun, creative, and rewarding experience once all the invites were finished and sent out to all the schools. So that was that. And I was also responsible for creating the layout for the BSO MFAS website, if you've seen that. Hosting MFAS at Marquette was one of my first exposures to Mafa, and it was an unforgettable experience. I'm an introvert, and being new to conferences, this was a large leap out of my comfort zone. But as Bayanihan is just starting to have a larger presence in the Mafa sphere, it has given me this amazing opportunity to connect with new people coming from far and wide to learn about the Filipino culture. Last year, I was also able to attend FACT, and as of this year, I was able to work closely with Marlo as his intern. I learned about a lot about his role as media master, as well as the general structure of how Mafa Board functions. I consider myself a very organized person, whether it comes to school or e-board duties. When uploading files online, I love when things are clear, concise, and easy to navigate. It just makes everyone's life so much easier like that. And as secretary, I will make sure this continues to be the case when sending out meeting minutes and organizing the Google Drive. Aside from being organized, what really interested me about the role of secretary is the creative aspect of it. So I want to use that creative platform to place a focus on staying active on social media. Emily has done a fantastic job of being consistently posting links to different articles and videos on Facebook to spread awareness about certain topics, and I want to continue this trend, as well as utilizing other
outlets such as Instagram to promote blog posts. And I plan to share weekly posts regarding current events, social justice issues, feminism, and just interesting facts about the Filipino culture to further educate the Mafa community. As for my goals for the Mafa blog and website, I want to work closely with the media master to create content including promotional material, articles about Mafa events or topics related to the Filipino culture, as well as school spotlights. I want to encourage more participation in the blog or any other of my projects by personally reaching out to Mafa members and early in the year so that they have time to organize their thoughts into writing. And I will have deadlines for people to get their writing into me so that I can publish it in a timely manner. By sharing weekly articles and videos, I want to continue to spread awareness about sensitive topics within Mafa. And I want to make Mafa website easily accessible tool for people to educate themselves and share their opinions. Although distance may separate us physically and travel isn't always an easy option for all, I believe using the website and social media outlets will really help foster this sense of community within Mafasphere and spread awareness about these issues. Aside from my secretary-specific duties, another asset that I can bring to Mafa board is my experience with digital media. I've played around with digital art since I was in middle school, but I've recently gotten back into to create graphics for my student org. I'm completely self-taught, so everything I know about Photoshop and Illustrator I've learned from the internet. But with that, I've created several apparel and poster designs for Bainihan since my freshman year. In conclusion, knowing that many of my duties will be open to my own creativity, I hope that through my blogging projects and personal outreach to leaders and other orgs in Mafa will further bring awareness about the Filipino culture, invite discussion, and foster a sense of community. This is the foundation that I would like to set for the secretary position of Mafa.
All right, thank you so much, Sarah, for your speech. Good job. Like I said, Emily Brielle is not here, so I'm going to be reading some of the questions that she has for you. Again, Emily Valentine will be marking the time on 2 minute, 1 minute, and 30 seconds. So one of the questions Emily Brielle has is, what are your plans or projects you hope to implement as secretary? So you did mention about the blog posts and the articles and sharing that on Facebook as well as the Instagram. So I guess just more explanation or description on that, if you do have any.
Great. So I want to personally reach out to leaders within the Mafa community about the history of their organizations so that I can spotlight them on the Mafa blog, because I feel like there's a lot of smaller orgs that they don't have a big presence in Mafa, and I feel like a way that we can get them more involved is if we can tell their story. So I want to reach out to all schools, whether they're large or small. I also think it would be really cool for each school to have their own customizable page on the Mafa website where they can give a little history about their own organization. Another thing is that I would think it would be really cool if I could reach out to Phil-Ams outside of Mafa from other regional Filipino organizations just to get new perspectives on, I guess, the Phil-Am identity. And another way that I would like to get people involved in that is by creating polls on the Facebook page to gauge what people, I guess, the kind of content people want to see on the blog and website. So.
All right, thank you. And then a Mafa member had asked, what are some examples of sensitive topics that you've mentioned? Also, how will you create a space for dialogue so that discussion of these topics are accessible to all?
Okay. Yeah, so I think some really important topics I'd like to cover is like whitewashing, gender roles. I'm a big activist for feminism, so a lot of stuff like that. Cultural appropriation has been a big hot topic lately, so I'd like to start some dialogue on that. And I guess I could facilitate this by, like I said, putting polls on the Facebook page to gauge what people's opinions are and encourage people to comment on what they or where they stand on these topics. So.
All right, and then you mentioned in your speech that you're an introvert. So like as an introvert, how will you bring up different topics or confront other board members in a case where you need to bring up any topics or any like type of confrontation?
Mm-hmm. So, okay, I am an introvert and I am proud to say that because I believe that because of that, I've been able to like connect better with people on like one-on-one. So I have no problem like confronting people personally. In fact, I prefer that. And as I've taken up leadership positions within Bayanihan, I've learned to grow out of my shell or come out of my shell, and I guess it's been easier to reach out to people that way. So.
All right. I don't have any questions. Does anyone else on board have any questions for Sarah? I think you have a little less than 2 minutes left.
Yes,
correct.
a minute 30.
A minute 30. So is there anyone else on board that have any questions for Sarah? Emily has questions.
So as like a Mafa board member, it's important to know the boundaries of being like professional, but also then like approachable. Do you mind giving an example where you kind of had to make this decision and be more professional in a situation, and maybe something that is outside of actual, like an org situation?
When I was historian for Bayanihan, my co-historian was my best friend, and we lived together. So there was definitely that friendship versus professionalism line that we had to draw. So when we were working on projects, we agreed to like set aside Friday nights to work professionally on those, and like we would just split up the responsibilities evenly, and if there was conflict, we would sit down and talk it through rather than sorting it out in like an informal manner, I should say.
On time?
We just finished.
Okay, we are done with Q&A, Sarah. So again, congratulations on your speech and in the Q&A. You will be hearing back with the results within the week. Yes, that is all. So thanks again and have a good night.
Good night.
One more candidate. Woo. All right. I'm currently making the Google form too.
Leo just graduated today, so say congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
That's why he had to do his election much later.
What time is it coming?
He'll be coming in at 9:40 p.m. CST,
oh,
so
okay.
10:40 EST.
Okay, that's
Only 7 minutes. Nicole will be sending that out soon.
I want boba.
I want boba too.
You told me yesterday.
I didn't get boba yesterday, Marlo.
Sorry, Emily.
It's okay. No, get out of my apartment.
Okay, bye.
Downstairs.
Christian Pineda says hi.
Oh, Christian. Hi, Christian.
Hi.
I'll see Christian on Wednesday morning. I'm interviewing for his capstone.
I'm interviewing with him on Tuesday night, I think. Yeah.
I have a final on Wednesday, but you know, whatever.
Like Wednesday morning?
No, Wednesday night. It's my film class, so I'm kind of like, it's okay.
Cries. That's my graduation, Sammy.
I know.
Are we still gonna stop by?
We're trying to stop by on Wednesday night / Thursday morning to say hi to you guys, by the way.
Oh, yeah, I know. Marla told me.
Maddie told me.
What time, like Wednesday?
When's your final? 5:30?
5:30.
Oh, is that why you can't come to the sushi? But
So we're seeing Loyola.
Wow. Excuse me, Emily.
I wanted to have since it's my last day, my boss said he gave me a discount on my discount already. I was gonna buy a sushi boat and treat them to it.
Oh.
What about lunch?
Well, I work.
Oh, you work.
It's my last shift.
Okay.
I'm working, yeah, and I think I'm gonna be done at like 2. So if you want to, I don't know what time you're leaving.
On Wednesday? No,
Thursday. No, this is on Friday.
Yeah, I know. Friday.
Oh,
that's
my graduation.
Oh, yeah, don't stay.
Don't stay.
Don't
But
do that.
if I stay, I could go for the sushi and Adam's party.
No, you have to go to graduation.
It's okay.
This is on live.
Yeah.
Don't party.
Someone keep him accountable to get to graduation.
Yeah, Marlo, I think you should go to your graduation.
That'd be good.
I'm just saying, like your parents are coming, so.
What's your point?
There's a point, I promise.
Whose graduation's on Thursday?
Mine and Kayla's.
What time is it at?
Kayla's is at 10?
I think it's at 10.
Kayla's at 10. Mine's at 4. No, 3. Mine's at 3.
This was when you first bonded over what's it called?
Game of Thrones.
The Game of Thrones.
Can't watch the episode.
Oh, I think I got that one too.
Oh wow!
You just look really young in the picture.
You look so sad.
You look so sad.
You look like a newborn.
For context, oh wait, this is Sammy's face when she can't watch Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Fun fact, whoever cares about our love story, we bonded over Game of Thrones.
Yes, it's true.
Look, here's a picture of us 3 at my booze cruise. Wow.
Wow.
You can tell we've been on here for a while because we got quiet.
Yeah, I'm very okay. I feel I'm very comfortable with all of you guys to just be in silence, you know?
Yes, this is true.
That's how much our friendship has grown. I remember when I was at Maddie in college, we were literally just sitting on the couches for like 3 hours on our phones, saying nothing to each other.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Fine. Eva Pedro, have your vote for Vice President External.
My sister just brought me a McFlurry.
I think
My family is still talking about getting walkie-talkies.
Oh. We should get walkie-talkies.
Why?
Why not?
No, not for us. Sorry, I'm judging my family. I love them, but like we could get walkie-talkies, and then some of them are like, no.
Oh, hello, Rio.
Rio is here.
Hello, Rio's here. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
Congratulations. Wow.
Yeah, I've just been spending all day with my family, so yeah, it's been really good.
All right, we'll try to keep this short and sweet then. So you
Yeah,
can-
cool with me.
But yes, welcome Rio to the 2018-2019 Mafa Executive Board elections.
Mhm.
Oh, it's been a long day. Okay. But just to reiterate from the election process, you do have 5 minutes for your speech and then 5 minutes for your Q&A. And Emily Valentine, if you look below, she has the time marks for 2 minutes and 1 minute and 30 seconds. So she'll be starting the time whenever you're ready.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, I'll just start. Hi, my name is Rio Valoria. I'm a very recent grad of The Ohio State University with a BA in psychology. In the fall, I'll be moving on, sticking around in OSU, getting my master's of HR management here at OSU. So I'll be sticking around even though I graduate. So I'm going to introduce myself kind of by going over some points on my resume. Before I came to OSU, I was a student at Northern Virginia Community College. And while I was there getting my associate's degree, I was involved in a co-op internship as well as some student orgs. So that internship was with Gateway Homes, and it's a group home for mostly middle-aged adults with psychological or developmental disorders like schizophrenia or autism. And I think the most important lesson I learned from that was patience in building relationships with people. Because each person there had their own challenges and different, personalities in getting warm to someone working with them. So I had to be really patient in, allowing them to open up to me and whenever they felt comfortable. In addition to that internship, I was involved in some student orgs back in community college. I joined a honor society. It was Phi Theta Kappa. It's a 2-year honor society, academic honor society. With that, I worked with like 9 other officers to plan some service events like highway cleanups, book drives. But I think one of the best experiences I had with that org was in the summer. I had the opportunity to like help facilitate and do a bit of the planning for a STEM and forensics camp for some high school students that were local in the area. And that was just really cool to really take lead and have like a small group that I was kind of doing some mentoring with, which was really nice. In addition to Phi Theta Kappa, I was involved with reinstating a student org, the Filipino Student Association there at Nova. It had been on hiatus for a couple of years. That's my roommate, Winston, over there. It had been on hiatus, but we reinstated it with the help of one of my professors there. That was a really difficult thing. I made a lot of mistakes as kind of the president of that org. I learned that you had to make a very meaningful experience for your members, or it'll be really difficult for you to retain them and just have something to where they're going to want to stay involved and be passionate about training like a future set of leaders, because with a 2-year school, the turnover is even quicker. Tying in kind of like that meaningful experience for members, I wanted to do that with the Mafa interns program. If I were elected as VPI, I wanted to really create something that was something where people would leave with, having some change that they've made or learning something really important and really growing from that experience. That seems like kind of ambitious right now, and I still have only some broad ideas in my head, but that's going to be kind of like my main one of my main responsibilities that I really want to like do to the best of my abilities if I were elected to VPI. Some suggestions I have would be, reaching out to older past Mafa board members and asking them about their experiences and things that they wish they knew before getting into that position. Things like that, and just doing some homework on that so I can create like a specific set of tasks and learning objectives, which will be made to applicants before they finish their application. I think that was one thing that I feel like could have been improved this year. I feel like I had a great experience as a Mafa intern this year, but I feel like I would have benefited more from like knowing what I was getting myself into before joining in like more specific things. Specific after I came to OSU, I joined PSA. I was immediately welcomed by this community, and it was like really a really meaningful experience to me. I was VPE this year, and I met a lot of great people in Mafa, and I'm running out of time, but really my conclusion is that like I had a great time in these student orgs, and I'm very passionate about it. I've grown and learned so much from it, and so I want to stay involved after graduating. Like I'm not really done being involved in student orgs because I've gained so much, and I want to share some of that experiences with other folks.
You just made it. That was literally the 5-minute mark. So awesome. Yeah, so awesome job in your speech, Rio. Congrats. Next, we're going to move on to the 5-minute Q&A. Again, Emily Valentine will be putting up the sticker marks. But Nicole Colostro, current VPI, is going to ask you a few questions.
Cool. Hi, Rio.
Nicole.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good.
Congrats again.
Yeah, thank you.
Great job on your speech.
Thanks.
So one of my first questions, you touched on the intern program. So as VPI, you already know that's one of the main responsibilities that VPI holds. And there are times, like for example, this year where it was a bit difficult to have interns to sign up and who were interested in like the first round or the second round. So my question to you is, how do you plan on promoting the internship program to the Mafa sphere?
Okay. Yeah, I realize that this could be like something that is like a really big challenge because something like an internship program is, it's unpaid, and you don't really know what it's going to be like with students running it. But I think the way I would promote it is taking some experience as a Mafa rep and a vice president external. Like I think the most effective way of getting people excited about something is just personal interaction, like reaching out to people personally and building relationships, with, just one-to-one. I think that's what pulled me into a lot of other student orgs, and it's just people reaching out to me personally because you feel like somebody really cares about you. And so I would kind of encourage that amongst the incoming board as much as possible. I mean, that's something that OSU PSA tries to do. Is each board member doing as much we can to do personal outreach. I think that's how I would do it. I'll probably think of some other ways too. Yeah.
Cool, perfect. Thank you. So my next question to you is, as VPI, you do work closely with the president as well as VPE. So you guys take on together as like a lot of responsibilities, making like final decisions as the three of you. So how would you approach a situation in which like you guys clash, specifically between president and VP? How would you approach that situation?
Okay. I feel like personally, I feel like I've handled conflict decently well. I understand that when I'm in a student org, it's you have to kind of have like a business mindset. You try your best not to take things personally. So if someone, has some criticisms for you, you try your best to realize that, like everyone is just, just cares about the org and they want what's best for the org. And if someone says something that's harmful or, that kind of hurts you, then yeah, that's fine, to have that feelings. But just in the back of my head, I always think like, they're just saying what they think is best. They're saying something that they think will be productive for the org. So just keeping that kind of mindset.
Thank you. Emily, am I doing okay on time? Good. Okay. My next question. Oh, thank you for the sign. So my next question is more geared towards your application. So you mentioned how you want to build communication between Mafa board as well as Mafa schools. And you also mentioned that you wanted to plan like 2 retreats. Could you go into more depth with that, as well as like specifically what type of events you would hold and how you also plan to promote that event, especially with like a lot of Mafa events going on throughout the year?
Okay. Well, for the retreats, I was kind of thinking more like an internal board retreat, and that was kind of just more for like when I wrote on my application about having strong communication within the board first. Yeah, so basically, some preliminary plans would be to just set like kind of like a middle ground, some place that's not too far from anybody else. With 3 potential new exec members from Milwaukee, maybe Chicago is a decent idea. So that would be kind of like a venue, just a middle ground that's not too difficult for everyone to reach. And then I would have to do more research, like asking some other folks who had planned internal board retreats before. I've honestly never experienced, I don't really have experience with planning something like that. So I'd reach out to some folks that I knew through my fraternity that I'm in, or other orgs that I've been involved with. So yeah, I honestly can't really tell you in specifics now, but I'll do more work. Yeah.
Thank you. And then Emily, I know we're on like seconds, right? Ish. Okay. Well, I think 10 seconds.
There's
Okay.
10 seconds left. Okay. I think we don't have any time for any other questions. So just to end the your election. So congrats. Good job on your speech. Good job on your Q&A, Rio. You will be hearing back with the results within the week. So you'll be hearing from us soon. But other than that, have a great night.
Okay.
Thank you for taking the time to run tonight.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
I'll see you guys. Yeah. Bye.
Bye. All right. For those of you that are still watching, that concludes our Mafa Executive Board elections for the 2018-2019 term, round 1. So you'll be hearing from round 2 within the next couple of weeks. Thank you.
Bye.